Killing me, Smalls. All right, you're on a boat. Go.
Hello, Morons. We are live with our Three Morons podcast. I'm Zach.
I'm Jake.
And I am Carl. What are we doing again? Are we talking about sports?
Yeah, I think we're going to talk about
We
sports.
Alright.
I thought we were just going to talk about
I'm
our
a lot
holidays and what we've done and then call it a day. Sports would be great.
That would be a male soap opera, right?
But as you guys can see, I am back though. For 1 week. We'll talk about that later. We'll go into everything that's going to be going on here.
Yeah.
For the next couple of weeks, it's going to be crazy. But Carl, you want to start us off here with NHL?
Yeah, sure. Talk about hockey. I looked at the standings last night. The Winnipeg Jets are still leading the West, and we have a new person leading the East, the New Jersey Devils, who we had mentioned, I think, last week or the week before. They're kind of a surprise coming out of the East.
I don't think they're a surprise. They were up and coming last year, but it's a surprise that they're boom already in the lead, right? But not surprised that they're a playoff team.
I think Washington was kind of a surprise too. I mean, they get Ovechkin back tonight from the broken leg injury. I don't think not saying he doesn't make a difference. Like, he's not going to be their A guy to score goals, but you have that veteran leadership on your bench and on the ice and stuff like that. That you never know what can happen with these playoffs. With the playoffs starts in hockey. So, like, for me, I was more looking at some of the disappointing teams in the NHL this season, and one that stood out was, and not to throw shade at Zach's team, was kind of the Rangers. How they've kind of fell out of that playoff mix as of right now.
And not looking good as of right now in this game.
No.
Which, by the way, I did something I never do, start sports betting. And I bet for the Tampa Bay to win by 2 goals, but less than 6 goals total. So, come on, Shesterkin, do what you do and give us the goals.
Right. Get the money and start sucking. That's how it goes.
Watch, we're going to lose by 1.
Right.
So, the Rangers don't get the win, and I don't get the money.
Right. We had some NFL action today as well, but we got the games that we're going to follow. Tampa Bay and the New York Rangers has won 2 bowl games on. Colorado playing BYU in the Alamo Bowl, and then the LA Tech and Army in the Military Bowl?
No, that Independence Bowl.
Independence Bowl.
The Military Bowl is ECU in North Carolina, or NC State. Which, by the way, me, Mr. Google, and my stepbrother went to 7 years ago today.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
We saw Navy in the Military Bowl, which is in Annapolis, the Military Bowl. So it's at their home field, and they won like 52-7.
59.
59-7.
Ow.
He remembers, Mr. Google remembers, and he left.
It was fucking cold.
They left because it was so cold. I'm like, I could take it, but half the stadium left. One more touchdown, I was like, I'm done.
Let's not talk about my Denver Broncos or my Blackhawks, who were the bottom of our division.
All right, well, we're not going to talk about the Blackhawks for sure, but we will be having to touch base on the Broncos. Sorry, buddy.
I don't wanna.
Hey, don't worry. You got one more game, okay?
Do it later.
Just play football in your brain.
I mean, we have a chance at the Chiefs because they're going to sit all their stars in the last game of the season.
Yes, that's
when
the
we talk
thing.
about NFL, gotta go back to the puck dropping on the ice.
Right, we got to keep going on the ice. But yeah, the Rangers
The Blackhawks suck. We won 12 games.
The Rangers are in sell mode right now. They're trying to figure out stuff, and I know they were talking about trades with, I think, Kreider to the Bruins.
Right.
And you know it's bad when you're getting rid of, like, Kreider, when you're getting rid of looking at Lafayette, like all these players, Capo, like these great players last year that did good for us, because you got to get a spark somehow. And right now it's like, do we get the spark or do we create cap space, maybe go free agency? Because something's not working right now.
Mm-mm.
I know the coach still looks like a deer in the headlights chewing that damn gum every time they show him on the sideline. Like, I don't know what's wrong because you can't coach. I said that last year when they were winning games, but when they were losing, he just looked like, I've lost that words. I thought they were supposed to play better. Like, you're also the coach. You need to make a change when change needs.
Sounds like the head coach and kind of let the players do their own thing. It doesn't count at all.
Yeah, that's exactly what. I mean, that's basically hockey. You come up with some stuff, but when stuff's not going right, you got to figure other lines and other stuff out. And he's trying to do the lines. It's just Savannah Jazz not scoring. Lafreniere's not scoring. Adam Fox is not scoring. Panarin's not. These key names are not getting the job done. And plus, Rempe just got suspended for 8 games, I think, last week. Oh no, it was I think Sunday. But one of the days, a couple days ago, he got suspended for 8 games for fighting for his hit on the not fighting, but for his hit on one of the players.
Oh, I saw that.
And then they lost the game to Carolina. So you lost the game, and he lost the case because he was at a case trying to appeal it, and they're like, nope, suspended or hearing suspended 8 games.
Because once you appeal it, you can still play.
But the problem is he's got a bad rep.
Yeah.
He's been known for fighting last year. He was a rookie. He came in doing some dirty hits, fighting. So when you get that rep, just like the NFL, right? When you get that rep, the Dominic James Harrison, you get harder penalties and stuff because they're not going to take your side anymore. They're going to go look after you a little bit stricter than they would somebody else because you're known for this.
Right. And yeah, I mean that's what it is. And they're just going to bunker down and be like, okay, what do we got to do to get through to you that shape up or get the hell out of the league?
Exactly.
Like what more do we need to do to you to be like, hey, this is not going to be tolerated. You're
Sounds like Vontae's blue trick in the NFL.
Yeah, or you're becoming not only a danger to other players, but maybe yourself.
He's the reason why we have Antonio Brown the way he is right now.
Crazy?
Right.
Dude,
I thought
you
he
not
was
see
just
his tweet towards Caitlin Clark?
No.
He since deleted it, but once you start like getting into the first one off in Iowa and first getting in the WNBA, he tweeted, hey, I bet she keeps it hairy down there.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Kind of, yeah.
Maybe he's just trying to go. Maybe he's trying to do stand-up comedy now, and he's like, "Oh, maybe I shouldn't say that out loud." I mean,
He was something along the lines. I bet she keeps it like not like clean, but like hairy down there. I'm like, dude,
Right.
the fuck, you know you're on like live tweeting this shit, right?
But
dang, like dang.
he has said and done some pretty stupid
Dude,
stuff.
he
since then.
has
He's claiming CT, but I think that's just Antonio Brown.
he had to have new Snapchat accounts because of he leaked his news on his Snapchat account.
Happens.
But, I don't think he just got to get to the point where he probably just doesn't care. Like he knows he's doing dumb stuff, and he just like, okay, yeah, I learned from.
Try to get followers and money maybe that way because he can't get in the NFL anymore.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you literally walked out of the team. Like you were
He
every.
stripped.
He stripped.
He stripped before halftime. Said, and walked out.
You know who else walked out on their team? The dude from the 49ers.
Yeah,
Former
Devondre
Packer.
Campbell.
Former Packer. He wants to go back to Green Bay, y'all.
I wouldn't want him on my team.
So that's the way to do it.
That's the way to do it,
That's
yeah.
your way to get out of the league.
Yeah, nobody's gonna want you.
Can't Ward listen. Anyway,
So I think like another thing I wanted to touch on with the NHL is I think the top 4 in the West has been trading like number 1 seeds for like the last few weeks. It's been
yes.
Winnipeg, Dallas, Minnesota,
Hey,
Vegas.
which by the way, the last win Rangers got was Dallas. So hey, at least we can beat a winning team.
I wouldn't want to face the Dallas Stars in the playoffs. They've
No.
been on the cusp of getting to the Stanley Cup final for the last 2 years and getting knocked out to the eventual Western Conference champion. They're building something with the Stars, so I wouldn't want to play them in the playoffs if I'm West Coast right now.
They're not chanting sell the team there,
No.
which is a year-round change, Chicago.
Aaron Rodgers doesn't want to sell yet.
I know, right? You get it? You get it, Jake?
Yeah, he owns the
He
best.
he just smiled a little bit. I don't know if the Bulls are chanting sell the team, but it's coming.
Maybe. Speaking of Bulls, NBA.
I
think
think
we're done with the hockey.
they're playing. Yeah, we're pretty much done with the hockey. The Bulls are playing the Bucks tonight.
Yep.
Bucks, I don't know if you touched on this, are NBA Cup champions. I know we talked about it a couple weeks ago. I don't know if we talked
We did.
about basketball too much last week.
They rested Giannis, I think, 2 games last week after the Cup.
And then
like,
he's rested tonight out
he's
for
rested-
sickness.
Sickness. So, I mean,
He had the sniffles, that cold Milwaukee weather.
I'm telling you. Speaking of that, we got cough drops over here that we're watching. Speaking of the sniffles, but yeah, I mean,
Before we get too far, though, did you see my Christmas gift to Mr. Google over there?
Yeah.
what is it? Oh, yeah, you showed me when you bought it.
Yep.
And he's already drinking out of it.
Yeah, he said he loves the cup.
Well, I do too, and it's protecting my nuts. So,
Well, before that
You're gonna be
punishment,
wearing that at your punishment.
You want to tell him what the punishment is?
Okay, so Carl's punishment is his punishment was last year. Last year we did a bet. We picked the bowl games. I won, and his bet was I picked the punishment. So I picked his punishment is the.
First of all, let's just talk about how it's almost a year later, but okay?
Whatever. It's been a while. I kind of forgot about it. Anyways.
You should never mention it, then he never would have to do it.
Yeah.
But at least Carl's a man of his word.
Anyways, his punishment is those viral and dodgeball videos.
Yeah.
So I decided to do that, but it's one-sided. Carl gets blindfolded, and I'm like 10 feet away. So, whatever you want to mark it. Anyways, I get 5 chances. I either get 5 random objects or 5 balls thrown at him.
We're going to find dodgeballs. And not the little soft, squishy ones. We're talking about kickball dodgeballs. The ones that actually fly.
Oh, no, the other.
Not the foam
so
ones.
the same guy, his name's Shane. He threw marshmallows, tennis racket, tennis balls.
We're not throwing objects that can send this dude to the hospital.
I mean, not actual tennis racket. No, like he hit the tennis ball with the tennis racket right at the dude.
That's fascinating.
Right, anyways, so he's gonna be blindfolded. Also, part of the punishment, he's gonna be wearing a dress while doing it.
This is about when you guys put each other in dresses.
I know, right? I'm not. My punishments are not done dresses. Now,
Well,
the
I
other
thought
two,
it'd be fun to have Carl wearing a dress.
You
Now
didn't
we
hear
are
what the other
doing-
one was, did you? When he wanted me to dress in a nice little tutu outfit, go around.
So
the
my other
house. Make-
punishment was
make-
him to go into a crowded place like the Sioux City
we
Mall.
were just talking about it.
Yeah.
And you interrupted him.
Sorry, go on.
I guess this side is not hearing anything tonight. You heard me last week perfectly clear.
Yes.
But he's on the other side, right? He was like,
No, you can go ahead and say it.
Okay,
You
so
go
my
ahead
other punishment I was thinking.
if you're gonna say it, get closer to the
Okay,
mic.
so my other punishment I was thinking was for him to go into a public place with just an embarrassing outfit like a fucking short skirt, tutu, anything, and have him yell, "I'm a goofy goober" at the top of his lungs and I'm recording.
It'd be better if it's like, I'm Mortal Teapot Short.
That too. I was thinking a little embarrassing
Or
song.
whatever Ace Ventura did in that little tutu in the same.
Just have him singing embarrassing songs, walking up and down to the city mall back and forth.
See, we gotta find a more populated mall though. I mean, Sioux City Mall is kind of populated every once in a while, but you gotta go to like somewhere in Dallas or Roosevelt Field Mall in New York, Long Island, or something that's gonna be very populated. Mall of America would be great. On that stage, where by the Legoland and all that stuff,
Carl's
Yeah.
standing on there.
have him just go up in front of everyone. Hold on, I'm a little teapot, short and stout. Anyway,
He says nothing but a tutu and a short
Right.
before we get to the NBA, I do want to mention it is almost punishment time for us as well for the
Yeah.
picks and for fantasy. So if anyone has any ideas, contact one of the 3 of us. If you don't have it, leave a comment. Mr. Google will be doing like a punishment wheel or generator or something and putting in like 6 or 7 punishments. Think 2 that we have come up with is 1, wearing the shot collar on the podcast.
Yes, mystery smoothie, mac and cheese lemonade. One of them was
What?
Mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese lemonade?
there's the one you sent in the group chat. Oh, like wearing a dress on air. I thought we mentioned that too.
I'm beginning to think that's nothing compared to the other 3. Wearing a shot collar? Like watching someone go through drive-thru with that was hilarious.
Right.
2, mystery smoothie, you pick your fate. And then mac and cheese lemonade, we're all gonna throw up. Now for mystery smoothie, the one thing I have is don't just put bananas in mine, okay? Don't be like yes or no and just keep showing
No, it's
banana.
gonna be bananas or Vegemite.
Both. Just keep holding up banana Vegemite.
Bananas or
I might have an
Vegemite.
all Vegemite smoothie, might have all banana, might have a mixture of both and die.
And Carl and Zach is throwing up in the trash can.
But it does have to be edible. It does have to be something that,
I'm
not
gonna-
like soap or anything.
So I'm going to make a list of 15 items, and you're going to choose 6 of them. I'm going to actually have Zoe choose 3 and Zane choose the other 3, and you get what you get.
Come on, Zane. Shoes. He's gonna like.
He just has to pick numbers. That's all he's got to do. He's
So
just
it's not
gotta-
even not. They're not even gonna know
No.
what it is.
No,
They're
he's
just
gonna pick
numbers.
random
We're just
numbers.
going to
Okay.
pick it out of
So
it.
yeah, if anyone has any ideas, comment on this video, and we're gonna keep doing the comments.
Right.
And then if you have one of our numbers, just reach out to us, and we'll give it to Mr. Google.
I want to say that I am clear of the fantasy football punishment.
Yeah, you are
Yeah,
clear.
no,
I don't-
not
I don't
together.
have to worry about that one.
And you're probably clear of the pick. I mean, I'm number 1 in the picks. You're number 2, but he's
way.
Dead
behind.
last.
So pretty much all he's playing for is not to get double punished.
But the weird thing is, I'm dominating in our NFL pick league, but I'm sucking in this. How the hell is that?
Because
possible?
college is involved.
College.
Question is, are you picking different games in the pick league in your league?
Well, he's only picking 3 games for the NFL, but we're picking a whole stack, and then we're not getting the same games of college since week 4.
So the
that's
games
what's
you're
going on.
probably losing in the pick league is the ones you're losing in this league too.
Sometimes, yeah.
But yeah, college, you have been horrible at college.
Oh, fuck.
I will not come to you for sports betting, which I won my first one, but I've been 0-3 for today. So that's why you bet free money.
And I get it. He likes to pick the underdogs, but you got to be smart on some of these things too.
I don't know.
Like when you bet money, clearly you're not always picking the underdogs. Unless they're 18.5-point underdogs. You're like, just play football and you're good. Thank
Well,
you,
we get-
Washington State,
we
with
get
9
to-
seconds left.
We'll get to our college football picks later. Well, we already know who each other picked. He did a
Hey,
little better.
hey. Woo! Lightning scored.
3-1. We're gonna get it. Second
All right, you
validation
ready to go
from
to the
Google.
NBA now?
We were talking about the Bucks and we got sidetracked. But I think then we got a firing yesterday.
Yes.
Mike Brown got fired from Sacramento Kings. Doug Christie.
Sacramento's without a head coach.
Which is crazy because they made the playoffs in
Yes.
the first time in how long last year?
2 years ago.
2 years ago. But they actually looked good last year when they were a decent seed last year too.
Yeah, they were in the bubble, and then I don't know what happened. They're not the bubble now, but the play-in. But I see their point, but the way they handled it, I guess they fired him over a test. That's
Wow.
That's bad.
God.
shades of Tampa Bay and Tony Dungy, if you want to look that up, people.
Yeah.
But
Okay, there can be no more scores. Tampa Bay's up 4-1.
okay.
There can be no more scores.
They got another goal?
I bet the under of 6 goals.
It's just 3-1.
It's
It's
4-1.
4-1 now. We should have betted on that.
Not on my phone.
Rangers and
I
Lightning.
just got the update on ESPN. Unless they made a typo, sometimes they do
Right.
that.
I
No, it
was
says 4-1.
gonna say that's a really quick goal.
That
Yeah,
was a really
it
good
was a
goal.
really quick goal.
I guess
They
the
scored-
Scorpion was
Was the goalie in
Hold on,
the
they scored 3:35 in, and then another like minute and 15 they scored again.
Okay,
Was
there
the
it goes.
goalie getting a snack break?
It finally,
Igor went over to get it. Waited too long.
Igor's save percentage tonight is 60%.
Uh,
10 shots allowed.
I hate
He's
to
only
say it.
saved
That's
6.
worth $11 million a year.
Okay,
Yeah.
so here's
11
my,
and a half.
so here's my
Love
question
it.
on NBA. I know I'm not
Horrible.
NBA like you guys are, but do
Go
you think how many more firings are going to be in this NBA? I think there's going to be more. I think this is it.
During the season,
This is the
During the
first one,
season
isn't
or
it?
at the end of the year?
there's going to be more.
Is this the first
This is
one?
the first one. No, yeah, well, if you don't count the assistant getting fired by Giannis.
I'm
yeah.
talking about head coach. I mean, assistant.
Yeah, this is the
we
first
probably
one.
don't know about.
You'll see at least 1 or 2 more.
Yeah.
At least.
during the
Because I know,
season.
like,
No. After the season. He said after
Yeah,
too.
unless,
After the
like
season.
during
you'll
the
see
season
more.
or after the season, it happens either way.
unless like one of these teams that are in contention right now lose like 15 in a row and they're horrible.
I'm not
Yeah.
looking at the standings. I looked at the standings like
You'll see 5 fights.
Warriors
a
are
year.
like 15
On
15.
Yeah,
I don't
okay,
see
well,
her-
Kerr's not going to get fired.
Yeah, I know.
No, not.
He
not-
might walk away, but he's not going to get fired.
It'd be a mutual thing.
I mean, the longest like tenured head coaches.
You guys feel like
Yeah.
Popovich is never going to get fired. He'll walk away.
No, he's not coaching right now.
No, he's recovering from a stroke.
Yeah,
I'm
he's
saying
recovering
that he
from
won't
stroke.
get fired. He'll be walking
Oh,
away.
he retired. Yeah.
Yeah, retiring, walking away.
He's there. He's just not there.
Doc Rivers might get fired.
Maybe. I mean, this run that
Bucks are
they're
doing a
on.
lot better.
Right, but if they blow leads, if they make a play and don't get in the actual tournament and stuff like
Right.
it depends on how the end of the season, right? Doesn't say he could get fired. I don't know how long like the Wizards had their coach.
Wizards are terrible.
Right, but how long have they had their coach? Or Pistons coach?
Pistons coach is a new coach.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like if they've been for a year, they're not gonna fire
They're
him.
about to tie their win total from last
But
year.
it's not the NFL, right? You're not gonna fire a coach after a year, maybe 2 years. You
No.
usually give them 3 years.
Well, with these sports, with basketball, baseball,
Usually.
and hockey, we have longer seasons. So 2-3 years is not, compared to the NFL, is like 6 or 7.
So the head coach
The
of the
games.
Wizards is Brian Keefe. He's been the head coach since 2000 this year.
2000 this year.
Yeah, he was promoted.
Love it. I love it.
First time being a head coach ever.
And when you look at the Washington Wizards, do you think at some point that with a team like that, I'm going to throw a couple more in just because they've been down for a little bit, like the Pistons, the Kings, not the Kings. I'm thinking of somebody else. The Raptors. Trailblazers. Do you see these? We do the lottery, but then somebody that barely made the playoffs can get that number one pick. Do we just do away with the lottery and be like, look, these teams need
I think you keep the lottery, but you got to do it a little bit different, right?
Yeah.
I think like the bottom 5 teams or something like that. Because a team that barely makes the playoffs or a play-in game shouldn't be a lottery pick.
Yeah.
But the fact is, look at how many teams are in the NBA? 30, right?
30, 31.
30. How many teams make it, including the playing games?
It's almost over half now.
Because there's 7, right?
There's 6,
7 and 8, 9 and 10 play.
Yep. So it's
So you're talking about 20
26.
teams make it into the play game,
So
right?
1 and 6 make it 7 through 10 points.
Right. That's what I'm saying. We just talked about it. So you're talking about 20 teams have a chance because they make the play game, but yet at least 10 teams, 5 from each, that get the lottery pick. Because I think if you make the play, you shouldn't even get the lottery pick because you still have a chance in the playoffs. So these teams are almost making the play. How I look at it is the 5 worst teams are usually, especially 2 of them, but 5 are usually so far out of it. Like this year, you got who's so far way out of it? The Wizards. Probably. I don't know, but the Trailblazers, are they pretty bad?
Jazz are pretty bad.
Jazz,
Pelicans have only won 5 games.
Pelicans, Jazz, Wizards. You're talking about 2 more teams, and they're probably so far out of it.
Raptors, Hornets.
Yeah. So the 5 worst teams should get a lottery.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing: that's half of the teams that didn't make the play-in.
All those teams are just.
In 5 years from now, you can have 5 teams not make the play-in anyway.
All those teams.
The way NBA is going to go, everyone gets a chance. We're going to do March Madness with play-in.
All those teams you just said have
I'd like to see
won
that.
10 games yet.
Trailblazers too? I was going to say Trailblazers.
You
See
get
all
a
the teams
playoff.
I
You
said.
get a lottery.
They won 10, but all the other ones have barely won 7.
And what number's Trailblazers?
13.
13. So you're talking about they're one of the worst teams in the leagues too. Because I'm just saying they lost all their players.
Pistons
I've
are
never heard
14
it.
and 17. What a turnaround from last year.
He just said that. They almost tied the winning record from last year.
Well, they won 14 games last year.
Yeah, he said that they just tied.
Yeah.
I understand you got half hearing.
No, my brain's running on dial-up internet. It's a little
AOL.
slow.
AOL.
Sorry, it's on a phone call.
Oh,
Disconnect.
Right.
That's a little slow.
But when you talk about the
NBA's
NBA,
gonna be like Oprah. You get a playoff. You get a playoff.
and this is
Pretty
why
much.
this is why I don't know why they decided to go to playing game. Was LeBron's team not winning? I don't know. But this is why they had to make the NBA tournament, the NBA Cup, because no one cares about it. Because 20 teams make the playoffs
Yeah.
or playing, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
20 teams have a shot at a
Championship.
because you could still cozy your damn way into a number 10, blow through the playing round because a game each, right? You will 2 games if you're 8, 9, and 10. If you lose that 7-8 matchup, then it's the loser plays the winner of 9 and 10. So 2 games if you lose the one and win the one, whatever. So possibly 2 games you're in the playoffs into an actual series, but you have a chance.
Yeah.
So if you're like, say, LeBron, right? I want to rest 90% of the games, and the Lakers are 100% healthy. They blow through the play-in. They're in the playoffs, and they start doing good. Or say the Bucks, or say a top team goes down to 10 because of an injury. Okay, you were injured. We're going to take time to heal you. Yeah, they're going to blow through the play-in because they're a great team, and then possibly win a championship because they're a great team. But they just cozy the whole way. Now I understand, and the NBA is doing stuff to do, little man. No, you're not. No, you're not. Because I joke about this all the time, but here's the truth. I have a back injury. Tell me I don't. So one thing X-rays, MRIs, CAT scans cannot 100% prove is you have a back injury. I heard this on another sports radio. That's why when a lot of the players that are out on NBA go, or NFL, I have a back injury. especially NBA. I have a back injury. They cannot prove that they don't. Just because it doesn't show up on MRI, they can still have a back injury.
Right. Yep.
So again, we're putting 20 teams out of 30. No one cares about the NBA because of that. I wouldn't be surprised in 5 years if the NBA is teetering on the fourth of the four major sports, teetering between 3 and 4. Because people are going to start caring about hockey more. People are going to start caring about baseball a lot more. Hockey's very bad compared revenue-wise. I saw a thing where Elon Musk could buy NHL with chump change.
Yeah.
Because worth $6 billion or something like that. He's worth $455 billion, and all these together is $433 billion. He would still have $22 billion left after buying all the sports leagues. He could buy the NBA twice. He could buy the MLB 6 times, but he could buy wallet change, chump change he finds in your couch for hockey. I wouldn't be surprised if hockey becomes a bigger sport because people are going to stop caring about NBA and go to something else. What's on during NBA season? NHL. And they're going to find that. They're going to see, oh, these guys are tough.
Not only that, but you got college football that's kind of taking that second and third spot from, I think
basketball's nowhere near college football. And college basketball is even more entertaining than NBA.
And to be honest with you, since we have the conference title games and then March Madness, a lot of people are starting to follow regular season college basketball a lot more.
This is my opinion. College basketball matters more than the NBA because these players try to prove themselves.
Well, they prove themselves. Again, yeah, you have 64 teams, but just think of the teams that also make. It's not like football where there's 130 FBS teams, right? To go for 12 spots. You got 164. But here's some teams that can make the dance, that don't make the dance, that wouldn't make a good bowl game or whatever. NCAA, HBCU, they're FCS or Division II or whatever they are. But in basketball, they can make the dance. UNCG. You know what that is? Take a guess what UNCG is. University of North Carolina, Greensboro has made the dance. Right? That's how I know some of these. Well, one, I lived there, but two, I've learned UNCG because of the dance 10 years ago, March Madness, right? They won their league. I think they're in the same league as NCAA for basketball. Right? Howard. You had Norfolk State can make it. These teams don't compete for FBS. They're FCS level. Right? NC Central, we were talking about how they were playing college basketball today. Big rivals. These teams that don't get, basketball is Division I, and that's it, right? So these teams can get Division I. North Dakota State, Division I. FCS. FCS is a Division I school, by the way. Did you know that? It's still Division 1A. It used to be Division I, Division 1A. Now it's just FCS and FBS. So they're still considered Division I in football, but it's just a different level of Division I.
Right.
And then basketball, they're all different. So there's way more teams. So people, the playoffs for 64, yeah, you got 64, but you have 230 teams for 64 spots or 200 teams.
Yep.
NBA, just think about it. Let's talk about NFL. 32 teams.
14 make it.
It's like making 11 teams on each side. That's 22 out of 41. That's more than half. Right? 22 out of 32. There's 10 teams that don't make it. You think people would care about the NFL regular season if 22 teams made the playoffs?
No. Not really.
Not really. No.
That's the problem with the NBA. You have 20 out of 30 teams making it, but the NFL, like I said, MLB, was there 31 and 32 in MLB or 30? 30, I think.
30.
32.
32 in MLB too?
Yep.
So 22 teams make the playoffs in MLB. No one cares about the regular season. It's so long. NFL doesn't care about because it's shorter time. Hockey, same thing, 30 teams. Let's put 20 teams in the playoffs. No one would care about regular season hockey.
No.
Because you got more than half the field making it.
Yeah.
So if they want to look at how can we make the regular season have more viewers, go back to just 7 or 8. If you don't want first round buys, because you never done first round buys in the NBA.
No.
So go back to 8. The top 8 make it.
Ooh.
And I just lost my bet. And the Rangers are getting smoked. I should have done. Oh, I was thinking about over 2. I was like, nah, Shesterkin's the goalie. He should be able to stop.
You're not see how he been playing all year.
He had a bad game last game, so here's his good game.
Apparently not.
11 million.
And it was a Christmas break. He had 5 days off. Way to go, Shesterkin. Go back to Russia. Oh wait, you stayed there.
Ooh, man. And
Just like someone said, Miami and Ohio State left their defenses at the hotel.
Iowa State.
Iowa State.
You keep saying Ohio State.
Because Ohio State means more, because we're going to talk about college football playoffs. Ohio State's fresh in my mind because Iowa State played in a Pop-Tarts Bowl. Ohio State's playing.
Which, by the way, I'm sorry, was probably not only the game, but it's the best bowl game ever. I'm sorry.
Oh, I just see on
love
Facebook.
Pop-Tarts.
Someone posted
Did
how
he
they
have
had
a
to calm
bunch of
down their
Pop-Tarts
kids that they didn't
mascots
kick.
running through the fields?
I saw on Facebook that someone had a lunchbox and Bob Bunch posted. Goes, I had to calm my kid down because they really thought they cooked a person in a Pop-Tart. Because he went down and a Pop-Tart came out, I had to convince him for 10 minutes that they didn't cook a person.
Human sacrifice.
Hey, look.
The sprinkles on the sideline.
Great. That was
awesome.
great. How do you not like the Pop-Tart?
And it's the only trophy in NCAA that can double
That's
as a
edible?
toaster.
Edible.
The Pop-Tart comes out. They get to pick which Pop-Tart.
Yeah,
it's
Rocco
cooked.
Beck was out there throwing shit out at the Iowa State players. And
Yeah, the Pop-Tart.
Pop-Tart cake.
No, like the actual trophy.
I mean,
is like a toaster.
We all have favorite bowls, real quick.
I thought it was
What's
cool.
your favorite bowl? Like the game, like you like. I love to watch this game.
Honestly, and this is not just because my team won it last year, the Rose Bowl.
Rose Bowl's
It
always
has
good.
that oomph to it. Like, and then I would say second would be like the Sugar Bowl.
And I'm not counting National Championship Bowl.
No,
or the
no, no,
BCS
no, no.
Bowl.
Idaho
that.
Potato Bowl.
Potato Bowl's good. One of the best edible dumplings ever. They dump fries on the winner.
Yeah.
They got the coach that, and he was like, I was a little salty.
I love it.
My favorite, only because I've been there and because it's held there, the Navy, military bowl.
Yeah.
It'd be better if one of the the academies both not that they qualify, but this academy qualified and they're lower ranked than the other one, so let's put them in it because Navy could easily done that, but they put them in Oklahoma, but it was still the Armed Forces Bowl was in Fort Worth.
Mm-hmm.
And Navy won that one. So they won a military bowl and they won an Armed Forces Bowl. So that's pretty cool. But I like the military bowl, but one of the bowls I've always loved to watch, and it's no-name teams, is the Bahamas Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
The swag bag they give. I mean, just think, you got teams Buffalo
And
Liberty. Buffalo. University of Buffalo gets to go down and play in Bahamas.
Yeah.
You get cold weather teams playing Bahamas, it's a vacation.
Yep.
Okay, cool. We get a shitty bowl, but you know what? We're in the Bahamas for free.
I don't get a lot of people treating the Bahamas as a shitty bowl. You go to the Bahamas. It's a free vacation.
It's teams that are like 6-6 and on the cusp.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, if we're gonna talk bowls real quick before we get back into MLB here, real quick, let's talk. We'll talk about this more in NCAA, but let's talk about how Marshall pulled out their bowl game against Army, and La Tech's 5-6, and they have to play Army.
5-7.
Oh, 5-7. That's right. They're
Yeah.
5-7.
Marshall pulled out of that bowl?
Because
Yeah,
they
because-
lost 30 people to the transfer portal. They're like, hey, we just forfeit. We don't have a team.
Yeah.
Because none
Their
of it,
head coach Charlie Huff took a job at Southern Miss. As soon as he did that,
30
30
players
players
transferred.
went to
But
transfer to.
let me tell you, you can still coach and you can still play as a transfer. If you don't believe me, go ask Fresno State, where their interim coach was leaving after the year, but Fresno Place there said, we're playing because we love this coach. So the coach still could have stayed and coached. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if the rule on that
Well, Scott Frost, remember, he got hired as Nebraska, was still coaching UCF. He
for
was
that
doing-
bowl game.
He was still doing both. He was flying back and forth from Lincoln, Nebraska to Orlando, Florida. He
So
still
you
did
can
it.
still coach that bowl game. So
Can't
let's
be-
just
it
talk
can be
about how
done.
the coach is like, I'm done. And then the player's like, well, we're done.
Oh, by the way, Scott Frost is back at UCF. That's why I threw that in there.
So
Are they undefeated again?
They are now.
Oh,
The season's over.
so Syracuse's head coach. So at the end of the game, I think it was like the Eggnog Bowl, whatever, or something to do with eggnog. There was on a dump on the head coach.
not this year. Syracuse was not the eggnog bowl this year.
They're in the holiday bowl.
They were the holiday bowl.
Yeah, the Holiday Bowl.
You said something to do with eggnog. No, it was the DirecTV holiday bowl, so
Yes.
there's no eggnog sponsor.
But one of them was being sponsored by like eggnog, team like an eggnog maker or whatever, and they're gonna dump it on the couch. But since he allergic to eggs, they can't.
Oh, that'd be hilarious. Break out live games every time.
So they said he dumped it on the players. I thought it was pretty cool.
All right, MLB. We got really sidetracked.
Been getting sidetracked all day.
So let's talk about how Corbin Burns is going to Arizona. Sorry, Corbin should stay in Milwaukee. Going to Arizona
From Baltimore, right?
from Baltimore to Arizona, so he goes from a playoff team to
Diamondbacks didn't make it.
but again, they're iffy from year to year. It seems like.
Yeah, they're not a consistent playoff.
I think it's a 6-year deal. 2 years he can opt out. I don't remember the money. It was a decent amount of money.
Yeah.
It was like $300-something million or something like that. But he can opt out after 2 years, which we joked he will. Oh, come back to Milwaukee, please. You said the Red Sox were going after him, right?
Yeah.
I want to talk about a video. I think I sent it to you about Dustin Pedroia. He was talking about Big Papi and everything, and David Ortiz had a speech or whatever, award ceremony, and he said his name's Dustin. He goes, Dustin, why would they call you that? He goes, because that's my name. He goes, is that real or is that true? And he goes, and Dustin's telling the story like Papi's like, is that true? He goes, I thought your name was Pee Wee. He was like, dude, I played 1,400 games with you and stuff. And then they come back to Papi. He goes, the funny thing is that's a true story. That's what Papi said. He's like, it's a true story. I didn't know his name was Dustin.
He didn't know his name was Dustin. Oh,
He's
that's
like,
awesome.
and then Alex Rodriguez like, hi, my name's Alex.
Right?
It's like, how do you play with a guy for 1,400 games and you didn't know his name was Dustin?
Right.
Why are they calling you Dustin? He's like, because they say it every time I come up.
Right? Are you not paying attention?
I understand he doesn't speak English, but come on.
It says it up there. Like
They announce it every time.
Right. I think he was back in that heyday. He was hitting either first or second. Poppy was either on deck or fourth. So there's no reason why he shouldn't have known.
Yeah, he just doesn't pay attention.
Just doesn't-
Clearly.
He goes, I'm on deck. Okay, cool. Now I'll take the earbuds
Wait,
out.
your name's Dustin?
Your name's Dustin? It'd be like one of us. We do what? How many podcasts we gonna hang out with?
Oh, wait, your name's Jake? What? I thought your name was Osborne. Jebediah. But yeah, so Corbin Burns
Wait, your
side.
name's Zach? I thought you were Chrome Dome.
Chrome Dome.
I am now.
Oh,
So,
thought you were
say
Lex
Justin
Luthor.
Pedroia. Corbin Burns goes to
Mr.
Arizona, and you said,
Walker Buehler got signed by the Red Sox.
and he's from
Dodgers.
Dodgers. No, that wasn't the guy that got in trouble for a little bit. That was Trevor Bauer.
And that's Trevor Bauer.
Which he should be signed
Yeah, I've been talking with my coworkers
because
about that.
he got acquitted of all charges and everything.
He's dominating the Mexican League right now.
I know he wanted.
Japanese
I know he wanted
Or
to finish.
Japanese, yeah.
Yeah,
I know he
he's
wanted to
Japanese.
finish like the season and stuff out there and break some records.
Astros were looking at him for a second.
But if the thing is, if he's been acquitted, he deserves all chances to come back,
And he's not asking for a lot. He's only asking for like $2 or $3 million.
and he can
Like,
still
let me-
pitch.
And he can still pitch. Be like, hey, let me prove to you that I can still do this. Then give me the money. And it's like he's lowering standards, doing all this stuff. Be like, hey, I just want to get back into the MLB. Let me show you what I can do.
Another case of wrongly accused,
Mm-hmm.
and his career is over.
Basically. But, you know.
There's nothing you can do with that, right?
Mhm.
Like, I've always been agree, if they wrongly accuse you of something, they should get the same. But what happens to the fact, like when you're sports or in movies, is Jonathan Majors was acquitted, and the girl falsely accused for the Marvel movies came.
Yeah.
All the money he lost out on all this stuff, like you can't go to the person and go, okay, now you owe $100 million because you lost $100 million because they can't afford it.
Right.
Now, do I believe, jail time should be, if the government did something like jail time for something like that, you would see a lot less false charges.
Yeah.
Because, hey, this dude can get 10 years in jail. Well, celebrity, whatever. But normal person would get 10 years in jail for this. You're going to get 10 years in jail if you find out you falsely accused them.
Right.
I guarantee you get a lot of less people coming out falsely because they want money. And then you got sports people and stuff not losing stuff. Because even though they're celebrities and probably would never get that time because they can just pay money and this whatever. And that's why these people come out falsely accused. and they take the money. Like the whole Deshaun Watson case. Do I think he did it 60 times? No. Do I think he did it once or twice? Probably. But there's no way he did it 60 times and 60 people found it offensive.
Yeah.
One person came forward
and
was offered money, so more people came forward.
Like,
That's
hey,
all I'm gonna
you
say.
got a mill. Let me see what I can get out of it.
Exactly. Oh, you're getting a mill? Cool. I want a mill. I want a mill. I want a mill. And that's how these people getting paid.
You get $1 million. You get $1 million.
But that's how you get these people getting paid and keep getting falsely accused because they see other people getting accused and getting money. So they're like, oh, I want money. And then they find out they get nothing for hush money. And the player or actor loses their career over it because they like, no, I'm not paying because I didn't do anything. And then they find out they're falsely accused.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the one person that came of it with hush money was Donald Trump. My man. Stormy Daniels. What? It's true.
So,
Hey, I have a new nickname for Zach. Thumb.
Tum.
But reason I like you brought up Deshaun Watson. I guess they reworked his deal. But getting back to MLB. What do we got here? Oh, nice.
Let's see.
Why don't you just, you might as well just show the camera. I mean, you already pointed it at Mr. Google. There you go.
Like, why can't I see?
The camera can't see it.
I don't get offended like that.
How about we talk about what
I
I
used to look at that, but I can't see.
What did
You
you
look like
do
a
today?
giant human fucking thumb.
Why don't we talk about what I did today when somebody said, when I commented on,
Oh, yeah. So,
we'll bring this up.
we're going to bring this up real quick. So, he commented on a video. If you guys seen, there's this girl. What's her name?
Emily King.
Emily King. She's on Facebook. She's the one that slides in to the videos in the mirror and goes like, guys just want this, guys. And it's the truth, right?
Yeah.
How to keep a man, women. If you want a guy and there's the toxic this, but you let him go, that's your fault, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And he said, I love your videos. You know, it's very inspiring. It's truth, right?
Yeah.
She's talking the truth on what men want in relationships or whatever. And this random spam
Yeah, it was
wannabe clickbait thing goes, hey, give me your number, sexy stud and handsome or whatever. And he goes, whoa, not so fast, midget. He pulled a Lee Corso on that girl, and then it got taken down. His post did her comment get taken out too, or just yours?
Mine.
Oh, yours got taken down with it because he
Yeah.
probably said midget, and
Yeah.
it's offensive. Oh, by the way, did you know the daughter got blocked off of Roblox
Yes.
for nothing?
Yeah. I heard.
It was a beach themed thing, and the girl dressed as a fairy, and she goes, "Well, you're a beach fairy," and got blocked because she called her a beach fairy because it's a beach theme. All I can think of is maybe someone was 15 and thought maybe beach was a different word.
That's the only thing I can think of.
Because I'm like, and I hear them talking in the car today, taking them, and all the girls are like, "Man, I can't stand the kids." I said, "You're kids. You're 10 and 11. Like you're kids." So people younger than you.
That's the tangent sign. You're off on a tangent.
But anyway,
You're not talking about MLB anymore.
All right, big word.
yeah, we'll go big board because I
Big
think.
board.
Well, was there anything else you want to talk
No.
about?
I
MLB?
mean, like I said, this is not going to be. There's not going to be much.
It's just whatever their signings.
With their signings, I mean, he was going to talk about Yankees.
Well, we'll hit it up here in about a couple months with spring training.
we
training
got
hits
about less than 6
February, right?
What? It's not April? No, the season starts in April.
Yeah, season starts in April,
Spring
February.
training,
spring
late
It's
training.
almost January.
January. And the pitchers and catchers report a week early.
And we'll start talking about probably after NFL. We'll start talking about UFL a little bit more and try to promote that a little bit because it seems like that's going strong.
Going into their fourth season.
Fourth season because they merged, realizing, hey, having two spring leagues is going to do nothing but fail us both.
Mhm.
Let's merge and figure it out. They're talking about expansions now, maybe in
and
like 2 or 3 years.
we got one team going for 4 straight.
Michigan,
Oh, Birmingham.
Birmingham. I don't know. Either
Oh yeah, for
Birmingham.
championship for UFL.
Yes,
Yes.
they're going for four in a row.
Yep.
Well, no, because this is the second year of
But
the
there's-
UFL,
there's-
right?
there's-
Four consecutive championships. You got two in
No,
the
but
US.
what I'm saying is this the right? Because wasn't Michigan Panthers one of them?
They were going for a playoff spot. Well, what we're talking about is they were in the USFL.
But who was the XFL champion?
Oh, that was
Arlington.
the Arlington
Arlington, that's right.
Renegades.
So the XFL is still counting USFL as their championships and their stats and everything. So they're like, yeah, they're going for 3 in a row. They're going for 3 championships.
Don't ask me
And now they're
how
4.
a team with only, I think Arlington had what, 3-4 wins that game? Like 3-4 wins that season?
Yeah.
And they were able to knock off a team that had
1 loss.
1 loss, 9 wins.
Do you know where the UFL is based?
San Antonio.
Close, Texas. They all live in the Arlington Fort Worth area because I Ubered them, and he plays for the DC Defenders. I said, "Oh, are you home for because you play close game?" He goes, "I mean, yeah, we played down the road, but at the same time, because this is where we all live." UFL is based out of Arlington area.
I don't know if the base operations was in San Antonio.
It might be that too, but I think they have a home satellite office in Arlington because
Yeah.
they had that. They played the old field right across the street from the Rangers.
Yeah, because you got the Alamo Dome that they play in San
Choctaw, I
Antonio.
think it's called.
Yeah, it used to be the old Texas Ranger Stadium.
Yep, they didn't destroy it. They're just using it for UFL now.
Yeah, because you got like 3 Texas teams. Houston,
We should make a road trip
Arlington,
for a UFL game.
San
Don't go
Antonio.
far. 12
St.
hours.
14,
Battlehawks, man.
14 hours to what?
Fort Worth.
I thought it was 12.
It's like 14.
I can make it 12.
I've heard that next year. I heard that rumors that next year they might be adding expansion teams.
That's what I'm saying. We're talking about expansions already, so it's clearly working because people want. You gotta wait for it to grow. Like you can't just expect overnight results.
And they're like
WNBA is just now getting popular. Okay.
they're debating like what team are they gonna what team names are they gonna use since they already have these team names? Are they gonna use one of the USFL old team names or the old XFL team names?
Or just something completely different.
Yes, like they could use the LA.
Also, I want to touch on this real quick while it's fresh in my head. While you're talking about gotta grow. Back in 2015, Ronda Rousey had a quote, and it said, "WNBA players want more money. You need to bring the audience." You think I'm the highest paid UFC fighter because the UFC head office wanted to do something nice for ladies? No, Ronda Rousey brought in people at that time.
Right.
So, of course, she was the highest paid UFC fighter, not just female, but fighter.
Butts and seats is what it's all
And
about.
why do you think WWE quickly signed her when she was ready to walk away from UFC after that loss? Because they're going to bring, Rock says boots to asses, she brings asses to seats.
Yep.
So I wanted to touch on that about the UFL. It's like, it takes some time. WNBA, it takes some time. They want money, money, money. You need to bring people.
And
That's
last
what
year
Caitlin Clark did.
was the first time that the USFL teams
USFL or UFL?
No, the USFL teams, because they actually played in their home teams, stadiums. Because during COVID and all that, they only played in one strictly.
Birmingham, right?
Yeah, Birmingham. They only played in Birmingham, strictly.
Right. I
For
remember that when they first
2
started.
years. Well, the second year, they only played in 2 select locations. Canton and Birmingham, I think Nashville. Those are only 3.
And now they're playing in their home stadiums because they can afford to, probably.
Yes.
And they're going to grow.
Yeah.
They're going to grow because people love football. And now we're getting this overload of football with college football playoffs not ending until January 20th is the national championship.
Yeah, it used to be.
And then when January
Yeah.
20th is 2 weeks later is the damn Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And then you're going to want football right after that because we're getting overloaded with football. So the 12-team college playoff then may hurt college a little bit because people are just like, who cares about the first round, whatever.
Right.
But at the same time, you're going to, these people who aren't going to the NFL, they're going to go to the UFL because now people are going to want to watch them because you got more football. In spring, you got, football overload here, football over here, a little break after the Super Bowl, bam, more football.
Yep. So the 8 teams in the UFL, they're split in the conferences. The conferences named are the USFL Conference and the XFL Conference. In the USFL Conference is the Birmingham Stallions, the Houston Roughnecks, the Memphis Showboats, and the Michigan Panthers. About the Houston Roughnecks, that is original an XFL team. But since the Houston Gamblers they had 2 copy teams, basically 2 overlapping teams. So they basically took the Memphis Gamblers team, players, and coaches and shoved them with the Roughnecks name and uniforms.
I wanted to give a score update real quick. Yeah, good job, Coach Prime. Doing so great in Colorado. BYU up 17-0.
Then you got the XFL.
I'm the one who picked BYU.
You got Arlington.
Oh, we all have faith in Coach Prime. That's never going to happen again. I hope they never win a game.
You got
I
Arlington.
might be a little salty because Travis Hunter's not even give me 2 touchdowns to my Army LA Tech.
Well, if they want to come back and win, they will.
All right, you got
Travis
Arlington.
Hunter's needs 2 touchdowns for my 1 game left.
You got the Arlington Renegades, the DC Defenders, the San Antonio Brahmas, and the St. Louis Battlehawks. My favorite team right there is the Battlehawks.
Question real quick. Has nothing to do with that. Do you think they just sit Sanders and Travis Hunter if they're down so bad?
Maybe.
Like, why put them in to win if they've been bad? I want to see the stats in this game here after we do the big board.
I've recently St. Louis Battlehawks, since they released backup agent, the starting quarterback Agent McCarron, they signed Max Duggan and another quarterback from that played at San Jose State.
Max Duggan's gonna be their guy.
Oh yeah.
Oh, by the way, that was a
Good.
punt return for a touchdown at 17. That last touchdown.
You know what happened last time somebody returned punts and kicks for touchdowns? They got blown out last night. Washington State.
Hey, I'm okay with that. They lost by 17. I won the bet.
I'm pretty sure they're going to be. I think they're going to be new head coaches in the UFL because based on their performance last year, there might be got releases.
I'll talk about this stat real quick. Shador Sanders has 68 yards passing. Travis Hunter has 60 yards receiving. Clearly, he's the only person catching the ball.
Right.
He has 2 of the 6 completions for Sanders. All right, let's go to big board here real quick so we can talk about something besides
Sports.
XFL, UFL, and stuff that no one cares about. What's our topic this week?
Underrated actors / actresses in movies.
All right, I'm going to start with one that I think he's been given roles, but I think he's hit him out of the park. And that's Andrew Garfield.
Yep.
Right? We talked about this. He did Spider-Man, and then he did Hacksaw Ridge.
Mm-hmm.
And he did a great job in 2 different kind of roles. And to me, when you can nail different roles, funny a little bit, little action, whatever, but funny in Spider-Man, but then you got something so serious in Hacksaw Ridge, which, by the way, another serious role who people consider a comedian in that role was, or in that he's a comedian actor, Vince Vaughn.
Yeah.
And Sergeant, and he had a little one-liners here, but he was serious in that role. He's not underrated because everyone loves Vince Vaughn, right?
Oh, yeah.
But the fact that he could do serious, that when I seen Hacksaw Ridge, I was like, that hit it for me. Andrew Garfield is a great actor.
See, another one that showed off his range is that he acted in an original movie called Tic Tac Boom. It's based off a true story about a guy who created a musical off the same name, I do believe. And also showed how he can truly sing. He didn't know how to sing.
True. What about you? You guys got any other people?
I got a couple. I got Paul Giamatti,
Good actor.
another good one. The only one that no one you don't mention nowadays because he's too retired, but I like watching his movies. Daniel Day-Lewis.
Mhm.
And another one, Stanley Tucci. The one I liked was the Lonely Good Bones with him and Mark Wahlberg when he played the serial killer.
Okay.
Very good. I'm surprised you didn't mention who I was about to mention.
Also another one is Cillian Murphy from Oppenheimer, and he played this another British TV show that he got famous for over there.
Okay.
Were you gonna mention JG? Jeff Goldblum?
I was waiting to see if someone talked about it. He
I know
is
you
very, very underrated. We
Peaky
talk about
Blinders, that
we
was
talk
a
about
show.
his big roles like Jurassic Park, Independence Day, but he was in Wicked, good in Wicked, right? Like he could do what he was in Friends, great in Friends for the little cameo he did.
Yep.
I think Jeff Goldblum is underrated because no one talks about him as much. Wasn't he in the movie The Fly?
Yeah, he was the Fly.
Right. So he's
Yeah,
in the
in the
movie The
remake,
Fly.
right?
Yeah.
Not the original.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, he was the Fly.
Back in like the 80s.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jeff Goldblum is definitely underrated because no one talks about him as much.
Takes off his glasses. That's one big pile of shit. And Jurassic Park.
Even in the Wicked, right? Spoiler alert, he's like, you just used me because you couldn't read it. He's like, exactly. like the way he just said, exactly. Like, you hit the nail on the head. Do I need to express anymore?
Right? that look on his face was like, well, you got it. You figured it out.
Yeah, hey, congratulations. You won a cookie.
Right.
I was waiting for him to say apartments.com or something.
Brad Longfellow, there you go. Apartments.com. You sell your apartment, see the world. Like, why? What?
I'm surprised you guys don't mention this one.
I haven't got there yet, but go ahead. You're
No,
still,
no,
you're still talking. You're still
I'll wait till
talking.
the end. Never mind.
I'm still coming up with the list. Go.
I got a couple more too.
Go.
Oh, Idris Elba.
Yes. He is not talking. Idris Elba? He
Yeah.
played in Beast. Great
Yeah.
movie. He plays Knuckles in Sonic.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he played in one of the Fast movies, didn't he? I thought he played in one of the Fast
No,
movies.
I don't think so.
As one of the bad guys or something.
Yes.
No, that was the other. He was a skinnier dude. Can't think of his name right now.
Oh, that's Jason Statham.
No, black. I'm not giving Idris Elba and Jason Statham mix, bro.
Oh,
I'll look it up. He was also in another movie,
my
but
name's Dustin, huh? Okay.
he's like Jason Statham. Dude, he's black.
I didn't know you that skinnier dude. I'm like Jason Statham.
Oh man.
Now has musky.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
LC color. Everyone's white or gray to me.
Right.
No, I can't think of
Wrong
it.
color. First
He
of
was in
all.
Dark Tower.
Dark
Yeah.
Tower.
That's
There was another movie he was in. I can't think of it at the top of my head right now. I thought it was one of the Fast, but it was something
Gary
else.
Oldman.
Gary Oldman's good.
That is a good
The
one.
the role of a lifetime. Did you guys see that? I said it to you with Matthew McConaughey when he's a normal sized person, but his whole family's midgets. He's talking this about Two Bears, One Cave with Bert Kreischer. He finally saw the trailer, and he's trying to not tell his fiance that his whole family's midgets because she's pregnant. So he's like, I guess you gotta meet my family. They're all midgets, and he's normal size. The trailer's like they're midgets. Only thing I can think of is you. Not so fast, bitch. But it said Gary Oldman in the role of a lifetime. He's a midget.
Gary Oldman's a midget. I gotta see this movie. It's got Matthew McConaughey.
Another one though that I was thinking is TV show, right?
You can, TV shows. It's
And
the whole
he's
spectrum.
done
open.
movies and everything. And he had a new one. I think it was where he was like in the CIA or whatever, but he went to England. David Schwimmer.
Yeah.
He did great in Friends. He did great in Madagascar.
Band of Brothers.
Was he in there?
Yes, he was.
I haven't seen that movie. He
Plays
did
it.
great in another TV show on Peacock.
It's not a movie. It's a TV show.
he plays the same character in everything he does. Everything he does is the same character.
No, I don't think it was the
Yeah,
same.
that.
He wasn't the same on Peacock. He was part of like a CIA or whatever and went to England.
He played Rob Kardashian in that OJ miniseries on Netflix.
Oh, did he?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was good. He does a lot of directing too.
Another one that I had that I think is good, but not a lot of people talk about that person. And who was it?
It's
I just had it.
underrated. It's underrated.
Right. Hold on. Go. I had him in my head. Damn.
Rob
Yeah.
Larroquette.
Huh?
Rob Larroquette.
Who?
Rob Larroquette.
Again. Who?
I don't. Is it John's brother?
No?
Is it John Larroquette's brother?
Is it John? Am I thinking John Larroquette? The one from Night Court?
John Larroquette.
Yeah, that one.
He's on both night courts. I know what he's talking about. He also was the bad guy in Richie Rich.
Mm-hmm.
With Macaulay Culkin.
Okay.
Tall guy too. Fucking, he's like 6'5".
Yeah, he's too
He's a
huge.
huge guy. Good actor.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of the bad guy in Richie Rich.
He's
It's
6'4".
long since I've seen that movie.
Tall dude.
Tall dude. Tall.
Well,
dude.
you guys are all short, so.
I'm 6 foot.
I'm a midget. That's
Yeah,
why I
me
say not
too.
Compared to these two.
6 foot. Yeah, you're a giant. Not Jolly and Green, but you are a giant. I can't think of the actor now. I had it on the top earlier when I was thinking. I was like, oh, that's a good one. And I
Pauly
just
Shore. Pauly Shore?
You're calling me short.
Oh, I thought you said Pauly Shore. Like,
great actor. Here's another one that's underrated
Greatest in the goofy.
because of some stuff that's happened and no one talks about it as much. Now that you think of Pauly Shore, Brandon Fraser.
Oh yeah, I was gonna
We've
mention. Yes.
Mentioned
Brent-
that
Like
earlier.
The Whale was good.
Yes.
I've seen bits and pieces of The Whale. I've seen it
For
all.
Honor.
But like Mummy, like just his comedic thing, everything was good about Brendan Fraser, but he didn't get along with Hollywood.
No. Not especially when that one dude touched him inappropriately and he went against it, and then when he got blacklisted.
Chicago's up 6-2-60 at Milwaukee halftime. I didn't mean to like throw my phone down like I'm
You
not
guys-
God damn
upset.
it.
Did you guys like hear me about?
Yeah.
You didn't know about how the story when he was blacklisted by Hollywood. This is-
Kind of heard of it.
so it goes. Well, he was in this meeting with an important Hollywood. I don't know if it was like producer or some
Harvey
big.
Weinstein?
Not Weinstein. It was this big shot. But he touched him inappropriately, and he was like, "No, enough is." And he stepped out, and all of a sudden he was blacklisted.
Right. Again, that's why his next role was The Whale. And he did great. I think it was up for like Oscars and stuff.
Now
He got it.
I think he won the actor for it.
Best actor for
He
that.
was playing in a couple little animated roles on DC. He played.
I figured out who it was. Though we don't talk about a lot.
He played in this TV show called the. I can't remember the name.
Ethan Hawke.
There you go.
Black Phone. He did good in The First Purge. He's a great actor, but again, something that no one talks about.
Mhm.
Right.
I was like,
Doom Patrol. That was a little
Doom
Patrol.
another one that no one talks about that I think has great range because he's only known for one role, but he did good in Chucky or Child's Play, the new one. He did good at animated as the Joker. He
Mark
did good.
Hamill?
Mark Hamill did great in Jay and Silent Bob playing Cockknocker.
Oh my fucking.
Still Jedi, but like his Luke Skywalker when they bring him back older, he was actually a good actor. He's one of the best Jokers.
How about Willem Dafoe?
He's voted one of the best Jokers of all time with his animated series, and I think he did Arkham Asylum.
Yeah, he did all the video
You guys
games.
hear about Willem Dafoe?
Great as Green Goblin, amazing as Green Goblin.
I watched him in A Time to Kill.
Did he? Wasn't
No, Tom
he? Wasn't he
Campbell.
just in
Busy
the
with
new
brains.
Spider-Man one with the multiverse?
I
And he
think.
came back and he's like, "Oh, I'm a bad guy." Like he's not the Green Goblin. He's a different like Defoe or whatever.
Right.
He was great in John Wick.
I've never seen John Wick.
I've
Oh,
seen the
my.
first one.
That's the only one he's in
Oh yeah, he was.
because they kill him at the end of it.
Spoiler alert.
What about David Morse?
I'm
Green
not,
Mile.
okay.
He was the bad guy in 12 Monkeys. He was the pilot in Langoliers.
Okay. I'm trying to remember who was the
Norton?
black guy in Green Mile?
Michael Clark Duncan.
Great actor.
Who?
Michael Clark Duncan.
See, there's a lot. Well, what about actresses? Lisa Kudrow, I can think of. She's done a lot of, with Friends, but after Friends, she's done some good roles here and there. But like, has she done any like big name?
Yeah.
Here's one that no one talks about except for horror movies. Scream Queen. If I say Scream Queen, who am I thinking of?
Doing that one chick from Halloween.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Only people know her from like Halloween. But what about Freaky Friday? She was pretty good at like her other stuff. Jamie Lee Curtis is a good actress.
True Lies.
True life, but no one talks about it unless you're talking about Halloween,
Right.
which, by the way, great in, especially the last three. She's a great actress.
I didn't even know she was in Halloween.
Yeah, the first one she was in, and then that wasn't her first movie either. I think the first
Oh.
one was what is the one where they're at homecoming? Prom night, I think that's what it is.
Something like that.
I think that was one of the first ones. But she's known as Scream Queen because she's been in a lot of horror movies and
Fast
stuff
Times
like
at
that.
Ridgemont High.
Is there any
Christine.
other actresses we could think of that's underrated?
Scarlett Johansson.
I think she gets a lot.
What's her name?
That's a character. I think. I was gonna say Helen Keller. I think Scarlett Johansson gets a lot of love for her roles.
Yeah.
Well, you talk about one actor that had a lot of accolades and kind of fell off. Where she had one recent movie. The one that played in the Hunger Games.
Oh, Jennifer Lawrence,
Yes.
Katniss Everdeen.
Mm-hmm.
She's good. She did that one. She did one where she was like babysitting or staying at home at like a beach town. Can't remember the name of the movie. I saw it like a year or so ago. It was pretty good.
Roseanne.
You said Roseanne Barr.
Great actor. Wrong timing.
Right.
I'm trying to think of there's other actresses I know there is. We just can't name
Vanessa Williams,
Yeah, that's a good one.
them.
She was in
Soul Food,
Eraser.
Eraser, Shaft.
I guess I just can't picture her face though.
She was married to Rick Fox, former basketball player.
Emily Blunt.
I thought you were gonna say Ric Flair.
Woo! Woo!
Wouldn't surprise me.
Emily Blunt.
I feel like she's underrated, but she's not.
I have two actors that was my name.
What other actors? While I'm thinking of some actresses.
Daniel Radcliffe.
Oh,
I guess you would
Hobbit.
only think of him as
Right.
Harry Potter, but I will tell you my favorite movie with him. And if you guys can't guess this movie right now,
Weird Al Yankovic.
yes,
Weird Al, yeah.
yes, the Weird Al.
I wasn't talking about that.
But
I'm
he
talking
was
about he's
great
the bad
in that
guy
movie,
in
though.
the movie. He's
But
playing
he
villain
was-
roles now.
Did he? Wasn't he? No, he wasn't in Tusk. No, That's the- I think.
I said
But
Daniel
was he
Radcliffe.
in? Was he in a horror movie too?
Something like that.
The girl in the black dress or the
Mhm.
window or something, laying in the
What
window
about
or
the guy that
something.
played the Edward from the Twilight? He's underrated. He's always been known as that.
Robert Pattinson.
Yeah.
Was he the bad guy in
He was
Grown-Ups
Batman and it was horrible.
Grown Ups 2?
Actually, a lot of people like that Batman.
Okay, well I fell asleep because it's 3 hours and not much action.
That's kind of how I was.
Ben Affleck played a better Batman.
Well, what kind of like Batman is?
I'm gonna mention him going off of Ben Affleck. I thought he was underrated for Jason Bourne, as that's Matt Damon.
Yeah.
For that role.
For that role. Not an actor, but
No.
as the role.
As a role. And that made me like Matt Damon.
Another one I just thought of real quick. And this is
What about,
shocking that
Helena Bonham Carter.
That's not what I was thinking.
who?
She played in Harry Potter, but she also played with Johnny Depp in the musical movie adaptation of the Barbara Butcher.
Edward Scissorhands.
No, Barbara Butcher. The one that basically made meat pie of his victims.
Okay, look, I just saw Barbara Bush. I'm thinking to do with Edward Scissorhands.
What the fuck?
First thing I-
Sweeney Todd. That was the name of the one.
I thought he was talking
Sweet.
about
It's
Dahmer.
almost the same thing as Edward Scissorhands. Okay.
I thought he was talking about Dahmer.
It's also Helen Mirren.
That's what actually what I was going to say. Is when you heard earlier.
Oh yes, she was good in Harry Potter.
Yes.
I actually had an actress that popped in my head.
Go ahead.
Maybe not so much now, but back in the day, I'm talking 90s, Michelle Pfeiffer.
Did anyone guess say Rachel McAdams?
Yeah,
Nope.
what's going on? Notebook, right?
Yes.
That's how I know her. Sorry. Was trying to get laid with a girl at that time. Watched the movie.
Another one.
Way long ago.
So here's a
Um,
movie that people. I don't know if you guys consider them underrated. I just don't hear about them as much. There's two.
Okay.
One for a movie in particular, Russell Crowe. I'm not talking about Gladiator.
No.
Unhinged.
Hinged.
Huh?
I don't think I know that one.
So Unhinged is basically this lady is in traffic. She's having a bad day. She honks at the dude. The dude starts following and torturing her. He just goes unhinged and crazy, following her like it's a bad case of road rage. He plays the bad guy. Great freaking movie. But one that I don't hear a lot of people talking about is the Penguin and Batman. He got a TV show.
Oh,
The
like,
Penguin, Colin Farrell.
I was thinking David DeVito.
I was
was
thinking
too.
Danny Vehicles when you said Penguin. I was like,
No,
Danny
That was
Vehicles?
a good. That was a good twist
No,
right
he
there.
did. He did. I think he was part of the Batman series with Robert Pattinson
Yeah.
with the Penguin.
That's
They
actually,
made a Max TV
you
show.
say that's a bad Batman movie that's coming out with a sequel, by the way.
Okay, but who got the sequel? The one actor that deserved it in that movie, the Penguin,
You also got
Colin Farrell. Doesn't
series.
even look like Colin Farrell.
No.
I think he was in the movie The Phone Booth.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
A
yeah.
whole movie in a phone booth. It was a pretty decent movie.
And is it Tom Cruise the bad guy in that movie because he's the one calling him?
I haven't seen this so long. This is a movie that I haven't seen
It's
so
been a
long.
long
I'm like, I
time
gotta
since
watch
I've seen
it.
that one.
Another one that I think a lot of people it dropped off. Shia LaBeouf.
Mm.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about did Holes, then he did Transformers, then he did Even Stevens, right? Then he did Disturbia. I mean, you're talking about different range of movies in every single one.
And-
Kiefer Sutherland,
Kiefer Sutherland,
not Tom Cruise.
Okay.
Fun
Jack
movie.
Bauer was a bad guy.
Yep.
How about Timothy the Wolfman?
Timothy Oliphant from
Wonka.
no, I know who it is. I know who he's
Let
talking
me
about.
see. Let me
He
see.
was in Deadwood. He was
Yep.
in
Oh, that was Timothy Chalamet.
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 Did great in Wonka.
My one underrated one. You mentioned him earlier when we were talking on the phone. The guy who voiced Scar in the Lion King.
He was in Stop Loss.
He's also in The Crazies. But the guy that voiced Scar was that?
Jeremy Irons.
Jeremy Irons.
The bad guy from Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Okay.
He has that same voice.
James Earl Jones never got his justice.
So you guys
Yeah,
know.
I didn't see you at the
So
presentation.
you know the song. That song.
So we're pretty much understanding that there's more underrated actors than actresses.
Did you know what fun fact about Steve Brown Lion King? Did you know that Jeremy Irons started singing that song, but then his voice throughout, lost his voice midway through the song? Do you know who had to re-sing that song?
My new teacher.
The guy who voiced Ed, Jim Cummings.
Okay.
I thought that was pretty cool.
Man, you have way too much time on your hand to read this stuff.
You know
It's called watching TikTok.
Zazu was voiced by the guy who played Mr. Bean.
That is not,
yeah.
not the other one with voiced by John Oliver.
No, I'm talking about Zazu, the one from the
Mr.
original
Bean,
one.
yeah.
Mr. Bean. It's Mr. Bean.
First of all, you have way too much time on your hands to be able to watch TikToks.
Dude, that little what else is time I got fucking do?
Go to the gym.
Call me fat?
No, go to the gym. You still have time, but go to the gym. You don't have to run your kids around on Monday and then go home at 9 o'clock at night and be like, I'm done. Because you have to be in to work at 5. But there's so many underrated actors that we could just keep naming them. Like one person that we thought probably didn't get enough credit for his role was Jim Parsons in Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, we talked about that today.
Yeah, I mean,
Like he was just
like you go back and rewatch it, it's just comedy gold of how clueless he was. And then you got the kid actor who's the perfect image of him as a kid.
and he nails it.
I want to go this one since I'm watching the movie Ryan Felipe.
Ryan Fleet, good actor, wasn't he? Oh, that's the movie.
Philippi.
That's the movie. Hold on.
Are
Keep
you-
talking real quick.
Ryan Philippi. Are you talking about the one with Sarah Michelle Gellar and Reese Witherspoon?
No, I'm thinking of a fight movie. Hold on.
Oh, Bloodsport. The redo Bloodsport.
No, that's not that.
What?
There's another one.
He was in the show, the remake of Shooter.
Was it? Ryan Fleet, good
Yeah.
boy. This is gonna bother me now. Because I know the movie I'm thinking of in my head, but it's not coming out because I haven't seen it in so long. Like Gruber. You guys remember that movie?
That was an amazing flick. That was fun as heck.
Will Forte.
Yep. From Sarah.
Amazing comedian that he doesn't get.
Oh yes. And also, didn't he? He was on the show Last Man on Earth.
Yes. Yeah. He was on that.
Yeah.
Funny guy.
Yes, he is.
We're kind of at a standstill here, bud. What are we doing?
Oh, another one I was
I'm
gonna say.
looking for that movie right now because it's gonna bother me until forever. Oh, he wasn't in that movie. I thought it was.
How about Joseph Gordon-Levitt?
Yes. Third Rock from the Sun, where he has to play an old man in a young kid's body, and he's a young kid himself. That was pretty good.
Yes.
That whole show was actually, I think, one of the more underrated comedies of the '90s, because you have these actors coming in. They're not just playing roles; they have to play alien inside of a human,
Mm-hmm.
and they got to act like everything's new to them.
By the way, Idris Elba was a bad guy in Fast and Furious. Don't ask me how I found out he was a bad guy in Fast and Furious because I can't think of the dude's name. You want to know what I googled?
What?
The bad guy that was black and Fast and Furious movies.
You
First one
might
that
get-
came up
you might
was
get watch
Elba.
list. You might get watch list.
I had to figure it out. I can't think of his name. He's bald. He's like African, but he had like a gym, and this dude had to teach him how to fight. Can't remember his name. Good freaking movie.
Oh, that's Never Back Down.
Yes. I thought Ryan Felipe was in that.
No.
Philippi.
Movie. Who was that guy? But
His
that's the
last
black
name's
guy I was
Philippi.
thinking of.
I thought it was Felipe. Never mind.
I haven't seen that movie in so long. I'm so glad you thought about it. Never
All right,
back
I'll go.
down.
Black.
Kevin, but real quick, here's another one.
Sean Ferris. Listen.
Yes, that's it, man. Kevin Costner,
Yes.
right? Y'all see Mr. Brooks?
Ugh.
It's a horror movie. And his neighbor is Dane Cook. Serious movie. And Mr. Brooks, spoiler alert, it's been out for so long, it's no longer a spoiler alert. He has multiple personalities and kills people and stuff.
Oh,
Right.
right.
And Kevin Costner's that dude. Like, that's a movie.
Hey, look, your Rangers won this sport.
Huh. I don't care. I lost the bet.
Not yet.
No, I did. It was under 6 goals.
Oh, okay.
I knew something told me it was going to be over 6 because it's the Rangers in Tampa Bay. But I was like, nah, under 6 gives more money. Again, it's free money.
Looks like BYU's going to put the over just by themselves.
Look, at this point, I just think Travis Hunter scored 2 touchdowns. So La Tech and Army actually mean something to me. Yeah, let's go with the promo here. So we are sponsored by B&L Creative Designs. For all your woodworking needs, they made this t-shirt right here. They made our bracelets right here. So go ahead, check them out. B&L Creative Designs on Facebook, or you go to their Etsy page, BL Creative Design Shop on Etsy. So, with that being said, NFL time. We got a week and a half left, right? Not
Let's
even a week
not
and a
bring
half.
out my Broncos, please.
So today's game, we want to talk about first the Chargers.
Oh, thank God.
They clinched the playoff,
Yep, back in the playoffs.
47. Good Lord. Where was this the rest of the season for the Chargers?
Right? They just
I mean, the Patriots have a defense.
oh, yeah, they're good.
Not today.
No.
I want to go online right now to see if they scored less than -12. -13, -14. Let's probably not.
Let's find out.
Because they
Got it.
didn't
That's what his job is.
the Lions score 45 points or Bills?
Mhm.
So that's 5 less points. So probably not. But they gotta be close.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Because I don't know if they even touched Justin Herbert.
You don't know.
It was
I'm
bad.
sorry, but if you're 3-13, you don't have a defense. Just saying.
They're but close games, right? They beat Chicago. Chicago has more wins than them, so they beat a great quarterback in Caleb Williams.
Scored 10. Chargers scored 10.
No. Patriots defense.
Oh, Patriots -6.
Still not -12. Way to go, Ronnie. You still
You
suck.
still hold that record, dude.
I'm gonna hold that record for the rest of my life of playing fantasy football.
Probably.
I'm
Yeah.
just saying, I don't know when the last time a defense scored that bad. In NFL, you don't get a lot of 50-point scores, so you don't see that bad. And when you do see 50 points, you still see at least a pick or something.
See,
Well, they were trying to get it to where Justin Herbert is now the fastest player to reach.
7,000 yards.
No,
he has the most
passing yards
yards
in the first 5 years of his NFL.
officially past Peyton Manning. You know who's third on that list?
Bo Nix?
No. James Winston. 19
I was
hours.
making fun of your Broncos.
James Winston.
Yeah, he's on the list.
But yeah, so they clinched the division, or not the division, a playoff spot. So that's good for them, right? They're in. What do we got? All but one team decided now in the AFC,
Yep. And,
which the Broncos could have done.
but didn't.
Unfortunately, you sucked at the time.
Hey, I'm used to
First of all, let's just talk about overtime. They missed the field goal. You missed the field goal. So I'm
No, they had to punt.
I said missed field goal on my thing. I thought.
Oh, did they miss the field goal earlier in the
Or that's what Mr. Google told me. They missed the field goal.
I'm
in
used to
overtime.
okay, we haven't been to the playoffs or even been near the playoffs. This is about the closest we've been to the playoffs since we won the Super Bowl
But you
9 years ago.
But you have a favorable remaining schedule as if Kansas City wins, they're number one.
They already are.
They're
They already locked it in?
Yep.
Yeah, they already locked
Okay.
in. That's why I said that we could win this game because they're
Wait,
going
how many losses do they have?
one,
How many does the Bills have?
2,
3.
3.
With 2 games left. They haven't locked it in.
They
Because
clinched it because
They clinched
beat,
it last week.
They clinched it on Wednesday.
but they lost to Buffalo, didn't they?
Yeah, but it doesn't matter now.
But Buffalo has 2 games left.
Kansas City's only got one.
Kansas City has 1 game left. Buffalo has 2.
If
Oh
they-
no, yeah, you're right. Kansas City already played. I forgot that
They
I forgot
already
that was
played.
a Wednesday night game.
Yeah, they played on Wednesday. They already won.
Yeah.
I forgot that wasn't week. Whatever.
So
that
we
was.
have hope of making the playoffs because guaranteed the KC is going to ship their starters.
That's not guaranteed.
Most likely. Oh, fucking hope.
Andy Reid might as well say, "F you Broncos."
No, he's gonna make you earn it.
Ah, God, I really hope we do.
I mean, there's a chance.
I mean, I'm used to disappointment. the
see,
last
what I'm
9
saying
years.
is you have a favorable schedule because you have the Chiefs who aren't playing for much, who might bench their starters.
Yes.
That's what I was gonna say. They might, because again, if you have a chance to keep your division rivals out, you keep them out.
Yeah.
Just like how let's talk about it. The Eagles have a chance next week to make the Giants pick 7th overall instead of 1st overall by winning.
That would be a dick move.
That'd be a great move.
That is what you do, though.
Mhm.
Hold on, ref bloodied in a bullfight. A referee suffers a nasty cut under his eye as Eastern Carolina and North Carolina's NC State players get into it late in military bowl. The ref got casualties.
Casualties all over the face, all over the place,
All over the face.
all over the face.
All over the place.
But yeah, so they clinched. Right now, it's who's playing right now?
Arizona's playing the Rams, and
So the Rams are playing for stuff Arizona is not.
But division.
Do you really want to talk about the curses that he has? Because there really wasn't much to go on those games.
Yeah, let's talk about how Houston decided not to put up a fight.
2 points.
2 points.
Combining on both the way on both.
That's
teams that
worse than
lost,
putting up 0. Your defense did something, but your offense couldn't.
Both combined teams that lost put a combined 21 points.
And 2 of them was for
Two of them, two
Was
points
for one
was from one team.
that was
Both
bad.
teams got trounced.
That was bad.
Wednesday.
Yeah, Houston. I mean, it was great for me with Derrick Henry, but that was bad.
It was.
And I'm sorry.
Like, how do you want to go to the playoffs? If I'm the fans, I'm like, dude, I don't even want you to be in the playoffs.
That's what I told him that night. I was like, Houston's gonna be one and done.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that defense is horrible. That offense. I
don't
mean,
want-
I understand Tate Dell wasn't playing. Is he out for the season?
yeah. Oh yeah.
He broke his.
He broke. Okay.
He,
I
doesn't
remember,
know
I remember
everything,
he got
I mean.
really bad hurt. I just couldn't remember
Dude,
if it was broke.
his
or-
entire thing. Right
He's done.
there.
He's done for this season because he's not going to be able to be back in the playoffs. He might come back if they make a push, but they're not. They clearly can't make a push without him.
They say he's at.
But here's the thing: would
out for
take
2
Dell,
years.
but would take
Yeah.
2 years.
He tore every
So
ligament
he
in his
didn't
knee.
break a bone. He tore stuff,
He broke the bone and also
but
tore
he
everything.
tore.
He tore everything.
I don't
that
care about
fucking
the
knee.
broke. The broke's not a 2-year injury. The tearing is the 2-year injury.
Yep.
I mean, look at Teddy Bridgewater. That who cares about the break? It was the tear.
Oh yeah, pretty much was nothing like
There's,
holding that fucking knee
there's
together.
no cartilage in there.
But what I'm saying is, though, even if Tate Dell was in that game, does it make that big of a difference?
I think it's a little more competitive.
Yeah, okay, 10-30. But I mean,
But if you're able to sustain drives, you're not going to be able to put 31 points on them.
true.
I'm not saying Baltimore loses. I'm just saying it may be a little bit more competitive. But does one person make that big of a
So
difference?
this looks at this,
Good.
right? This
Good though, yeah.
this season. You know, you've been ups and downs. Do you look at, hey, next year, Ryan, you're on the coach. D'Amico Ryan, you're on the coach. Or the hot seat.
Not
You're on the hot
coach.
seat.
Or that, or do you look at CJ Stroud?
I'm not gonna lie. He told some when they beat the Bears, he's like, hey, stop taking those hits, blah blah, you'll be good in this league. Since then, Caleb Williams went off and Stroud has took a big step back.
Yeah.
But I saw that stat somewhere. I was on Facebook, a video. But here's the thing. I mean, you got to look at CJ Stroud, but you also look at the coach. Like, hey, you took a big step back. You got one more year to prove yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Because are they going to win the division? Have they clinched it
Yeah,
yet?
they've already won the division. They're already going to
But what's their record? Like 9-5,
9-7.
9-7? Yeah, that's. You got one game left. You could be 10-7, or you could be 9-8.
And honestly, if you're going up against a division opponent, I get that. But if you're not, you're not going to improve seed wise. Why not just give CJ Stroud some rest?
Oh, they're going to give him rest. There's no way they don't give him rest.
Right.
Give him rest because you got nothing to prove. You're not going to improve seed-wise. You're not out of the playoffs. You're not going to a wild card. Well,
You'll be a wild card, but you're not going to get number one seed.
you're not a wild card person, you're a division champ, so you get home field advantage for that one game. You're going to be the 4 seed, most likely. I mean, unless bar some miracle, I don't know the whole standard, but I think they clinched the 4 seed.
Yeah.
Is there a way they could be a 3 seed?
No, you got Baltimore ahead of them. You got Kansas City and
But
Buffalo.
what's Baltimore's record?
11-5
Yeah, okay, and then Steelers are
or 10-6. So
yeah, so you can't
they
do
most
it.
likely would.
because you only got one more game. You're going to be 10-5,
Yeah.
so you're. And I don't think they got the advantage over the Steelers
No,
because the Steelers have to get to 11. So,
but it looks likely if things hold up as they are now, Pittsburgh would go to Houston for the first round playoff game.
and I'm taking Pittsburgh in that one.
Yeah.
Which we'll start picking NFL games when the playoffs start again for sure.
Right.
So yeah, rest him, rest your running back, rest Collins, rest your stars because you cannot afford another injury anywhere.
No.
Offensive lineman, receiver, running back, you can't afford it.
What about you? Can say the same thing about the Lions.
The Lions should rest them because it's not that they can't afford it. Why get an injury?
True, but also you talk about the team that.
But
has
have
the
they
most-
locked up the division?
Nope.
No,
Have they locked up the number 1 seed?
Nope.
no.
They're gonna play them. Why would you want to bench them?
They
You
got-
want that number 1 seed because it's the only bye.
Yes.
Yep.
So if you say this week the Packers win and they lock up the number 1 seed, yes, then the next week you bench your stars, and then you got another bye, so you got 2 weeks off for your stars.
But it's looking like if everything stays true to what Detroit and Minnesota both win tomorrow, or I know Monday night, whoever plays that game between Detroit and Minnesota in Detroit is going to go for number 1 seed in the NFC, and the loser goes down to 5.
I mean, at the same time, do you mind if you're 5?
No.
Because you're playing the number.
And it will be the
You're
first,
playing the number 4 seed.
right. It'll be the first time since 1999 you had 2 division opponents that had more than 13 wins.
Exactly. But the thing is, if that's the case, so you played this game, you played this game, whatever. If you're fighting for 1 or 5, yeah, I want 1. But I know we're the best team, and we're going to destroy whoever number 4 is. Why not get that week rest if you think you need it? The Lions defense probably needs it. That offense, you don't want injury, but if someone gets injured,
At this point, you're
Here's
gonna
the
have
thing, if
fullbacks
someone gets-
Aaron Glenn suiting up for the
but
defense.
here's the thing: if someone gets injured on that offense, they're pulling everybody.
Yeah.
They're going to start pulling starters, and if that injury is just, oh, my leg hurts, I can go back a bruise. Guess what? Too bad you're out.
Yep.
That's what Dan Campbell will do. Dan Campbell's going to go to be the number 1 seed, but at the same time, if someone starts limping for cramps, he's pulling people.
Yep.
Because he doesn't want them to get hurt.
It also depends on what Philadelphia does too, because that's another team that could get it too.
Well, it looks like they're probably going to throw that last game, but again, it depends where the seeding is.
Yeah. It all
If the
depends.
Lions or the Vikings have locked up the number 1 seed or number 5 seed and they're number 2, then you bench your people and screw the Giants. But if you still have a chance at the number 1 seed, you don't screw the Giants. You want that number 1 seed as Philadelphia.
Mhm.
Yep.
So it all depends on if who's Philly play this way? Oh, the Cowboys.
At home, yeah.
Oh, and let's just say they're going to fight for the number 1 seed.
I think they all are. They all are.
Because they're probably going to beat the Cowboys. The Lions are probably going to beat the 49ers. And the Vikings are probably going to beat the Packers. Because right now, the Packers can't win the division. They're number 5. They're probably locked in that number 5 spot. I don't think they can be 6.
No, and like I said, Washington plays tomorrow night against Atlanta. Washington wins, they're in. And I think Washington's record is, let me see.
I think they're
10-5, and Green Bay's 11-4.
So they could still. Here's the thing. 5 would play
4.
not 5. 7 would play number 2. So you're either playing Philly, Minnesota, or Lions, depending at the end of the season. So as Green Bay, you got to play your starters.
Yeah.
You have to actually try to win that game. Because you don't want to play Philly, Minnesota, or the Lions first round in their home. You don't. Because we don't know what's going on. So Against the Bears, they might bench their players if they're locked into that number 5.
Right.
And then our streak of like 15 in a row is gone against the Bears.
Right.
But it's okay because we're going to the playoffs and they're staying at home. And don't worry, their 14-game losing streak will be over by then.
They've lost 10.
6-3. 6-3. Oh, wait. Yeah, it'll be 14. 13-game losing streak will be over because they don't play again this week. 13. They were 4-2 at one point.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they were
And
4-2.
since that Hail Mary, it's been Washington's what here.
Since they were 4-2, they haven't won.
Well, Washington kept going.
Yeah.
Was that the 4-3 game?
So you talk about
Was that their third loss? Was Washington?
So you talk about
And then the block field goal and
You talk about an amazing turnaround, 1 year turnaround is the Washington. Last year, they're one of the worst teams. Now they're looking to be one of the best wild cards.
Was that just because of Jaden Daniels? How about Dan Quinn?
That's I was going to that point. I wasn't saying Dan Daniels. I was saying Dan Quinn.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm bringing that point up, right?
Yeah.
How about Dan Quinn? He's also a front runner for
And
Coach of the Year. So is it Dan Campbell? I'll say Dan Campbell deserves it. Ron Lyon's been good the past couple of years. Dan Quinn should get it.
I think it's Minnesota, Kevin O'Connell.
Sean Payton.
You gotta win though. You can't.
You gotta get in the playoffs first.
The only reason I'm saying Kevin O'Connell from Minnesota is we even talked about this shit that Minnesota's had to overcome, losing a player in depth, all the injuries they had preseason, going with Darnold, we're like, they're gonna be nothing. And look at them now.
Yeah, we all thought
Minnesota's just gonna
we all thought they were gonna probably win 5 games at best.
and
And
they're
here they are about to be a number 1 or number 5 that clearly can win almost any other division but the
I
Eagles
looked
right now.
up Sam Darnold's stats.
And Green Bay would be winning all but like 4 divisions as well out of 8. I mean, they'd be winning all but the Buffalo division, Casey's division,
that's it.
obviously our division, and Philly's division.
Yep.
That's 4 out of 8. They'd be winning other 4 divisions by a long shot.
So his stats currently, Sam Darnold's 3,776, 32 touchdowns, and 11 interceptions.
Why would we bring up this stat?
Because I was bringing up a point because if you look at this year, everyone thought he's going to be
Yeah,
bad.
that's what we're saying. We all thought they were going to be trash.
Yeah.
But you looked at what his 2 years with or 3 years with the Jets, he never really threw more than 20 touchdowns, and his interceptions were pretty high.
Yeah, okay. We brought up the point where we said, we think he's gonna win 5 games because he's out there seeing ghosts.
Right.
But I think what helped him and what teams need to start looking at, he sat behind Purdy and had Shanahan.
Yeah.
And I think that helped him more than anyone thinks. Yeah, he went to Carolina and stuff, but I think sitting for a year, learning more than just throwing them in helped him. And that's what these teams going into this draft need to look at. You're looking at Shador Sanders. Okay, do you think he's honestly game 1 ready?
Very few are.
Do you think he's game 1 ready?
Yeah.
I'm pointing to the board because it's 20-0. Now, yes, he could get pulled. I don't know his stats in this game. Mr. Google could check it out. But I guarantee you, he is obviously not lighting it up. At one point, I was laughing because it was 8 passing yards, and 60 was Hunter.
Yeah.
You're going to go to the Jets. You're going to go to the Giants. You're not going to be that great.
He's 7 for 10, 70 yards, been sacked 3 times for 50 yards.
He's been pulled. There's no way he's got 70 yards and not been pulled.
Yeah.
And is it halftime yet?
At the third quarter just started.
There's no way he hasn't been pulled for 7 for 10 and 70 yards. He's been pulled. I'm pretty sure he's close to being pulled.
Probably. And we got an update.
Update: Army just scored a touchdown on LA Tech. Cool. If Travis Hunter can give me 2 points, that actually means something to me. Or 2 touchdowns. But he probably got pulled. Again, they're down 20-0 at half.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they got pulled. If we had the game up, we would see.
Right.
But Shador Sanders isn't ready. Right? Cam Ward is, I don't think, day 1 ready. He's close to it. Like Mr. Google said, not a lot of quarterbacks are day 1.
No.
Caleb Williams, you had no one else. And he's improving.
Jaden Daniels, you had nobody else.
Jaden Daniels, you had no one else, but he's proven he can do it.
Yeah.
This quarterback class,
But
and I listened to Fox Sports Radio.
Same, Bo Nix.
Bo Nix. He took growing pains though.
Oh yeah, dude.
I
First
listened-
four games he threw like 6 picks.
I listened to Fox Sports Radio this morning, and on there, by the way, I love the fact that ESPN's losing everybody. Fitz, he was on with Golick and Wingo and everybody, and now he's on Fox Sports. Way to go, ESPN! I don't know what you're doing, but you're losing everybody. He said this is not a quarterback class you trade up for.
Mhm.
Like you're gonna like some team might get the 4th best quarterback, but that's the 3rd round pick.
Yeah.
Is the 4th best quarterback.
Oh yeah.
So you think Dylan Gabriel, he might be NFL ready first day. I still don't think he's ready. NFL. Cam Ward, don't think he's ready.
Yes.
Shador Sanders, don't think he's ready. That's 3. So you're talking about the 4th best quarterbacks, the 3rd round.
Carson
Those
Beck's
are-
not ready.
Carson Beck's not ready.
He's coming off the injury.
And he's
Also-
probably the 4th best quarterback, so he's the 3rd round pick.
So
Dylan Gabriel, Shador Sanders, and Cam Ward are all going to be probably first round
So
picks.
you want
But
my honest opinion about this quarterback, this draft class as a whole? It's going to be receiver heavy because you've got McMillan coming out of Arizona. He's one of the best receiver.
I think it's receiver and defensive heavy.
Oh yeah, and you got a few linemen heavy sprinkled
Well,
in.
linemen's always heavy because
There's a lot
the
of
Bears need a lineman. Like
Yes,
there's a lot of people
gonna
that
be
need
like-
linemen.
and especially first round, there's going to be a lot of linemen.
Jets need a lineman. Like
Yes. So in this first round, in my opinion, there's at least 3 quarterbacks worthy of a first round pick, which is
but not day one ready.
Yeah,
That's
not
what
day
we're
one
talking
ready.
about.
Yes, not day one ready. I think it's proven that you can set a quarterback. Packers have proven. Mr. Grubel
Twice.
Twice.
Aaron
Packers-
Rodgers was the first round, and so was
Mr.
Jordan
Grubel
Love.
said it. That they've proven a point. They made the system work where you can set a quarterback for a few years and learn behind a veteran quarterback and come out and play great.
And Aaron Rodgers didn't learn behind someone who was lighting. Brett Favre still threw picks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But what Aaron Rodgers learned was the good stuff, right?
Yes.
Hey, let me learn how to throw off foot and still throw a completion. Let me learn how to throw with both my feet in the air and not set throw completions. Let me learn how to read and get people to jump off sides. Now look who learned that. Jordan Love is getting people to jump off sides. Jordan Love's getting that 12 man on the field ball because he's learning it from Aaron Rodgers, who learned a little bit from Brett Favre, but did better at cadence. Now Jordan Love's learned the best from Aaron Rodgers
Right.
and going on, right? The problem is teams, like I was saying, Cam Ward, Shador Sanders, the
And-
teams that are going to draft them, only one has the benefit to kind of sit them. That's the Jets.
Mhm.
Because you probably chalk up as another whatever crap season, but have them sit behind Rodgers for one more year. Learn the good stuff behind Rodgers. Rodgers knows he's on the way out. Rodgers still did a good job at teaching Jordan Love. He's going to teach this next kid because he knows he's on the way out. Especially with a season like this, he's lucky if he gets one more season, to be honest, if he doesn't retire. So if, say, the Jets pick Cam Ward, let him learn behind Rodgers.
Right.
Yeah.
And so
And you have a quarterback of the future.
besides Sanders, besides Ward and Gabriel, those are your 3 best prospects.
Then you
for
got
quarterbacks.
who's the next best? Is it Beck?
No, because if you put Beck in a system and you put pressure on him, he's gonna fold. Same thing with Milrow. They're gonna fold.
Milroe's going out, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he declared
So
already.
who's the best out of those 2?
I mean, Milrow's basically a running back that can throw a half decent ball.
Said no, the over. They got themselves.
I told you.
And so
I have a theory when you're done.
So Milrow is basically a running back that can throw a half decent ball, and he tends to throw the ball into double coverage when he gets pressured. He doesn't care if
Oh, I've seen how bad he was against Wisconsin. He didn't play great in the beginning.
he
I've
does.
seen bad against South Carolina. Right before one of the Georgia games where they
Right.
throw 3 interceptions and they score a touchdown. You see his family dancing when he's winning. Well, what happened in the game before where he threw 3 interceptions?
See, he doesn't
Right.
care if he sees his Alabama receiver down the field. He doesn't care if it's triple coverage or double coverage. He will fucking throw the ball.
Rough hard.
Yep, pretty much.
Same thing
Number
with
4.
Carson Beck. Carson Beck, Texas proved it at the beginning of the game. If you put pressure in his fucking face and you kind of blanket his receivers, He doesn't know what to do. He's panicking. He
First
doesn't know
of
what
all,
to
let's
do.
just talk about how we gotta start editing these videos now to get on like Patreon and stuff because they do bleep a lot of the stuff out. Mr. swears a lot, but anyway.
And so, like I said, when you blanket the receivers and you put pressure on him, he doesn't know what to do. He panics. He holds the ball.
Yeah.
True.
Carson Beck, I don't think is great. Georgia's never really had great quarterbacks. Stetson Bennett, like he did good, but he also spent 8 years in not Matt Stafford. I'm talking about Stetson Bennett. Spent like 8 years, right? Like dude went to the Rams and disappeared. Okay,
You say they don't have great quarterbacks. One exception was Matt.
Didn't he get drafted by Stetson Bennett? Didn't he get drafted by the Rams and hasn't shown up
Yeah, because
in 2 years?
Because he had to go to rehab.
Okay, there you go. Because he's like 8 years older than everybody that's coming out. Like he's already on the drugs.
Or he was an alcoholic.
And money, yeah, now you can.
Yeah,
Money,
like
yeah.
I said, everyone's like, because kind of ticked me off because I told him about it, is that I looked at these mock drafts and they had Carson Beck and Jalen Mills over in the first round. I'm like, these two guys, I get the other three guys. These two guys are not first round worthy. They're maybe third or fourth round if you want to put the work in and develop.
Again, before I speak, what was your theory? Do you still remember?
Yeah, I do. So, getting back, you guys talked linemen, and it clicked with me. Why are we? Because I bring up Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow, wide receiver, quarterback, Waddle, Tua, Devontae Smith, Jalen Hurts. They play together in college. Why aren't they drafting linemen from these quarterback colleges? Offensive linemen.
Here's what I think, right? So you got Burrow.
Yeah.
You didn't get Jamar Chase in the same draft, did you?
You got him a year later.
The year after.
Okay.
Jamar
So
Chase,
say you couldn't get the lineman because they already got picked, right? So the next year you might get someone the same.
But there is a lineman from USC that's high on the draft board. If I'm the Bears, why not take that pick? He's already got.
They might, because here's the thing: they don't need a quarterback, they don't need a receiver,
They don't get anything
they
besides
can
the line.
get and defensive line. I was
there's only
talking
one decent
to someone
lineman
at
on
work.
that Bears old line. That is a right tackle that he just raced in the first or second round pick.
But anyway, they need. I was talking to someone at work who's a Bears fan. We know him.
Mm-hmm.
He said good. They need O line and D line, but number one, O line. You see the end of the game against the Seattle. He just had to toss it up there and get it out because everyone's in his face. Like I looked at that play. He had no time to throw it away.
No.
He had to throw it up there and just hope for the best.
As soon as he started the ball.
That whole drive, it was like, oh shoot, and just let me throw it and get completed. I'm looking at most of these games. He's getting lucky with some of the stuff because like he has to scramble and make something. But some of these times he don't have time to scramble, just has to throw it up there. Okay, throw it away. How? How do you throw it away when you look up and everyone's in your face?
And to throw it away, you have to be out of the pocket.
Exactly. Unless someone's in the area and you can't see them in the area when you got people in front of your face.
Yeah.
So you have to throw it up there.
Yes.
In the middle of the field where you know there's a receiver and defenders. So they're gonna draft offensive line.
Well, they have to.
Oh yeah, they have
Now
to.
do you draft? You don't have to draft up.
No.
But here's my question. Say they're pick 7, right? And there's still a team that's quarterback heavy. Do you take calls and go, who are you taking that's maybe 2 below that? You find out who below you is going to take. Okay, they need a quarterback, or say below them is the Cowboys, and they need Ashton Jeffrey. Genty. I'm going to say Alshon Jeffrey. We're talking about the Bears. I'm talking about Jeffrey. But Ashton Genty, right? So you know they're going to pick a running back.
Right.
Do you trade behind the Cowboys if you know that person's not going to trick offensive line to get that offensive lineman? I would.
Yeah.
Right? Trade up, give them the quarterback pick or whoever they're going to pick. Travis Hunter, whoever, right? Just say they're going to pick a quarterback. You trade back to get your lineman because you know the person that you trade back behind is not going to get them. And you get great picks. Why not?
Yeah.
Because you need to get all these picks should be offensive linemen and defensive linemen for the first 2 rounds.
My point was familiarity is when we're seeing weapons from college like Trevor Lawrence and Travis Etienne.
Oh, Jesus.
Why did you guys pick Colorado?
Because we believed in Brock, damn it.
I believed
I believed in the Buffaloes. I believe.
First of all, let's just talk about how they made a good run to possibly be in the Big 12 championship. Clearly, they would have got screwed by Arizona State.
I have a point to make when we go to NCAA.
In fact, Arizona State would have won so much they would have to bring them up on rape charges.
Ooh, ouch.
Like, damn.
I have a point to make when it goes with USC and a quarterback play because they just lost a quarterback in the transfer portal, but also, like, why didn't they start this guy the whole season?
First of all, I want to talk about USC and their quarterback. Clearly, half the game, Caleb Williams is worried about what nail polish he's going to use. Because in LA, he can wear nail polish and be fine. But obviously in Chicago, he needs to worry about playing, not what nail polish he's using.
Right.
I'm making fun of the fact that he put F Utah on his fingernails.
And they beat him both times.
Oh, yeah. We never beat you.
Both times, like 7
It
times.
looks like a lot. But I'm just saying, like, we talked, when they see that they're getting weapons, I would get a lineman from USC or Oklahoma that is familiar with
And they're not.
defense.
And the thing is, whether they're familiar with Caleb Williams or not, you need to get top lineman.
Yes.
And that's what the Bears are going to do. If they don't get top lineman, Poles is getting fired after the draft.
Yeah. And maybe he should.
But look, that's what I wanted to bring up. You see that in the beginning of Thursday Night Football, there's like, F the Packers. And at the end, sell the team. They changed their chant. I wonder why.
Yeah.
We're talking about the Chicago White Sox saying it. Now we're talking about the Bears. When is it the Bulls are going to start saying it? When is Chicago United going to start saying it? When the Blackhawks are, I think, are saying sell the team now. Like,
I think we've been saying that for a while.
but no one in Chicago wants to spend money. I wanted to say sell again. Even Punk said, they said, how do you think the Bears can come back? He goes, the McCass,
Whatever team.
Virginia Mikowskis, right?
No, yeah, McCaskey's.
McCaskey's. They need to sell the team. Even he said it. Punk, he said it. He's the voice of Chicago for all I care. He's the most famous person in Chicago right now.
Yeah.
Like, they do need this. They need to do something. Because it's bad. Like, I saw a thing the other day. They fired Lovie Smith. Dude was like 81 and like 63 in his 9 seasons. And since then, they're like 73 and 85 or something. Like, horrible.
It's bad in 2 playoff appearances and no playoff wins.
Yeah, they haven't had a successful head coach since.
They haven't
Mitchell
really
Trubisky was the one who actually took them to the playoffs.
I heard this on the radio of 2 teams that have been so bad since the 80s, but a few outliers. Can you guess the 2 teams?
Aaron Jets.
Right there.
Mm-hmm.
The few outliers with the Jets didn't make a Super Bowl.
Mark Sanchez took them to 2 AFC championships.
Again,
Haven't been
outlier
back
of those
since.
2 seasons, right?
Those were his first 2 years, Jake. So
Right,
we'll give him a
outliers
look
were those
right
2
there.
seasons, pretty much.
Yeah.
And the Bears' outlier was the Super Bowl season that they lost.
Yeah.
In the Super Bowl. Other than that, they have been nothing. And who brought them to the Super Bowl?
Lovey.
And then you fire the guy?
They had Rex Grossman as the quarterback, and they had a
brought him to Super Bowl with Rex Grossman. Give him the Hall of Fame.
But then they brought. I saw another video and he brought up a good point. The last 3 quarterbacks: Mitch Trubisky, 2 offensive coordinators, 2 head coaches, done. Justin Fields, 2 offensive coordinators, 2 head coaches, done.
Caleb
Now-
Williams.
2 offensive coordinators are going to be there and 2 head coaches because Eberflus and the head offensive coordinator got fired within the year. But for all 3 quarterbacks, they fired their head coach and offensive coordinator within that first year and got somebody else. And then the coaches and the offensive coordinator are gone and the quarterback's gone. Are we falling down another trend with Caleb Williams?
I think if I'm
Yeah.
right.
Now, I don't think
honest
Caleb Williams is a
opinion,
bust.
I don't either.
They need to hire an offensive-minded head coach.
No, you know who they're going to get? And this
They
name is
always
running,
get is a defensive-minded head coach.
but this name is running through.
Is that the one we saw yesterday?
Ooh,
Urban Meyer.
no, I think that was a joke. I think, and Ryan, we know Ryan. He's watched the podcast. Ryan Jordan has said this, and I agree. If they get this guy, this guy should be number 1. Vrabel.
Mike Vrabel.
Mike Vrabel did great with Tannehill. Did okay with Tannehill. Right? Grant, you had Derrick Henry. But
He was great.
Because Swift is so great.
He's not
But
bad.
if you get Vrabel, yeah, you got to get offense. But if he's there, you get Jetty. Takes it off of Caleb Williams. You got the running game. Then you get an offensive lineman because you got one first round pick, but you got a lot of picks in the first 50 picks.
Yeah.
I think like 3 or 4 picks. Then you get the offensive core. Try to find someone in the offseason for offensive line. You can get that running game plus Williams. That's the only thing you need. Swift's not the answer.
Right.
No,
If you
you
can
need
get Genty
someone to take the pressure off.
Or
Williams.
offensive lineman, you're good. I'd rather get Genty.
Yes.
But you need to do because if you can get Genty, you have Vrabel. Just remember, Vrabel had an okay quarterback in Tannehill, and he had Derrick Henry. He had a good defense. He can do defense. He's a defensive-minded coach, so let him do what you want with the defense. If you give him the defense,
Brings up a good point because offensive line and defensive linemen are fairly cheap compared to the other positions now.
exactly. So you can get him in the offseason. You can find someone who's decent and do a little bit. Because look what Caleb Williams does now.
David Bakhtiari.
Yeah, when he never plays.
Right.
3 games.
Never plays again.
3 games every 3 years, a game a year. But that's where I think they are. Right here's where I think they're gonna go. I think they're gonna go offensive line if that's the best available. If Genty's considered the best available, they'll get him. If it's a quarterback, receiver, or something, they can trade back, they'll get him. Dallas is clearly going to draft Ashton Genty if they fall down to him. Because that's what Jerry Jones wants as a running back. That's what I think Genty would be better than what they have.
Why
But
wouldn't you want Ashton Genty?
but Pollard's doing okay.
So we don't. Who
Pollard's not Pollard.
in Tennessee? Yeah, he's
No.
doing great.
Yeah.
He is
But not the
doing
last
great.
2 weeks.
No, who's the
Got traded him.
Doyle, man.
Donald or
Whatever his name is.
Swindle or whatever.
What's his name, Mister? I know everyone's name.
Donald.
Donald.
Dowdle.
He's not bad.
No,
He's not.
I think another good pick. I don't know if he's up for the draft. Scatterboo.
He's a senior.
Yeah,
That's
I
my
think
check.
he might be.
Yeah, Scatterboo would be perfect if you can get him in the second round. I think he's gonna fall down.
Caleb Johnson from Iowa is probably going to go in the first round.
So
That's
Scatterboo
right.
might be the second round pick. So you can get your offensive line and go get Scatterboo for the Bears.
He's a senior.
But the thing is, you want a powerful back, I
Yeah.
think, for the Bears with Mike Vrabel.
Kind
And
of
that's
reminds
what
you of a
Genty
little
is.
bit of a Marion Barber type. You want a guy like
You
that.
have a point because you want a good running back in the
Rest in
backfield to
peace.
take the pressure off of
Now-
Williams.
2 hours.
Now here's the
Run
thing:
2 hours.
does Poles get fired?
2 hours.
Does Poles get fired if he doesn't get the right coach?
The GM for
The
the
GM
Bears.
for the Bears.
Oh,
Poles.
yeah. Maybe.
I didn't actually think Eberflus was a bad hire at the time. I know it didn't pan out, but I don't think it was a bad hire.
I think
Rumor
it's
has it
horrible hire.
he's still on that field trying to use his
But
last
again,
name.
if
But
you
again,
don't-
he
if
came
you
in
don't-
from Matt Nagy.
So if you don't come to the table with the guy you want, you got to get somebody, right? So with Vrabel being available, maybe Urban Myers and some other people, even Belichick was thinking about the Bears.
Yeah, that's a getting thrown out in Chicago right now.
Belichick even
You
mentioned
not
the Bears
think
came
that
to
dumpster
me.
fire that was Jacksonville when Urban Meyer was there.
Again, listen, that's just a name thrown out there. It doesn't mean he's interested. But Belichick was interested, called Chicago and said, "Where are you at?" And they said, "We're just starting to look." He goes, "Thanks, I'm going to UNC."
He actually talked to the Jets.
Because
as well.
if they would have said, "Hey, here you go,"
Hey, go score!
We did it. I eat my words now.
Army 14-0, Colorado 7-27.
You will have a look up if Travis Hunter got the
Schroeder
touchdown.
has not been taken. Now he just took through the touchdown pass.
To who? Final 6-2, Tampa Bay.
Nice.
I had the score, just didn't have the over under.
No.
Just give you partial credit for that.
Travis T. Hunter.
Woo! One more touchdown, pick 6. Come on, Travis. Come on, Travis.
I didn't think Dion
All right,
was
guys,
best.
ready?
Look, one more score by Army, and I at least got that far. I need the over under, but
You guys
they're gonna
ready
get
to,
43.
wrap it up on the NFL and go to NCAA?
yeah, that's what we're gonna talk about now.
All right.
But what I'm saying is that Belichick actually was interested because the Bears is not a bad job.
No.
No NFL job technically is a bad job. You're in the NFL.
Well,
The lowest paid is like $5 million.
And he reached out to the Jets and the Bears.
But because they weren't ready to make a decision, then he's like, see ya.
Yep.
Because UNC was ready to pull the trigger on him. He wanted to know where they're at. If they would have said, we're very interested in you, this is what we're offering,
Let's talk.
and let's talk now, he would have waited. But because they said, we're just starting, bye.
He took the job at
He
NC.
took the two teams that already fired their coach who could start looking for coaches.
That's smart, though.
Exactly. That's why he talked to those two.
Technically, he already was hired by the Jets before, but then he just quit the next
On a
fucking
paper
day.
napkin. What's worse, text message or napkin?
Well, he didn't have a cell phone back then, so he had to do paper napkin. Right,
NCAA.
love goes to Woody Johnson. Be like, hey, here you go, bye.
NCAA. Let's hit it first. Go Navy, beat Oklahoma. All right, everyone in Fort Worth should be standing up and cheering. There should have been no Oklahoma fans there. There should have been Texas fans cheering for Navy to win. Good job, Navy.
Not the fact that they got to, focus on Arizona State. That's beside the point.
Right.
Okay.
No, not the fans.
Hey, I got that pick right.
Woohoo!
Me too. Navy beat Oklahoma. Not a worry in my mind. Bullshit. But anyway, yeah, Navy beat a Power 5 school or Power 4 school. They mentioned this. You beat a Power 4 school. Yeah, it was Oklahoma. Yeah, they're not what they're supposed to be, right? But they beat a Power 4 school.
Yeah.
That's great. It's an SEC team. You're doing great. Popeye's doing great for that team. I think it was a good win. I think Oklahoma has a good future, though. We talked about this. That quarterback is a true freshman and played great because their quarterback hit the transfer portal. No, I'm talking about Oklahoma.
Oh, Hawkins.
That's what I said. Yeah, Hawkins did great. That tight ends did great. I'm trying not to smell. The tight end did good. It was a great effort by Oklahoma, and I think they have a bright future. Washington State got blown out by Syracuse yesterday. But again, like I said, my bet, at least they didn't lose by more than 18, so that's good.
So I wanted
Today we saw Iowa State versus Miami. I'm the only one that got that right. Iowa State didn't get it right when I put money on it. But Iowa State did a good job. Cam Ward quit on his team. We don't know what the real story is, but they pulled Cam Ward at halftime. I think he got his touchdowns that he wanted to get to break the record for Case Keenum, 156 yards, or the record was 156 is what he got, but he got 158 touchdowns in his career. They pulled him, and it showed that they need a new quarterback going into the future. I can tell you that much.
Oh, yeah.
And then right now we're looking at Colorado BYU, but we got the college football playoffs coming up. Who's excited for that?
They were not excited for the first round matchups. Everybody was complaining about them because they were double digits or more.
Yeah.
And that's why I brought that up. We're excited
All
about
home
this.
team wins.
All of them were 14 and above.
All home team wins.
Yes.
Yes. So what Nick Saban and Kirk Herbstreit brought up about how do we get something different, and I agree with this. I brought this to you guys last week, I think, before the podcast, after. I agree. Should they change a little bit of this? Because this is the first year, right? You went this way. Should you change it to what BCS kind of model was? The strength of schedule has to play factor. Because if you put the strength of schedule, yes, Alabama probably would have gotten in, but Miami probably would have gotten in.
Miami and probably Ole Miss.
SMU wouldn't have gotten in. Indiana wouldn't have gotten in. They said they should get rid of the top four automatically being conference champions because then Notre Dame would have never had to play in Indiana.
Right.
Because it looked like Notre Dame shouldn't have played Indiana. And I agree. I don't think Notre Dame should be punished. But again, when you look at it, who did they play this year? Texas A&M, Army, and Navy was ranked at the time. But besides the service academy that you blew out, you lost to NIU. Okay, you lost to NIU. Sometimes that happens. People trip up onto Michigan and Appalachian State. I mean, it happens. You beat a ranked Texas A&M, but what other ranked teams did you play besides the service academy?
Right.
Which, by the way, you beat Navy and you go play Army, who has the same playbook as Navy almost, because it's a hybrid wing offense to where they pass a little bit more. But for the most part, you know how to stop the option because you just did it with the Navy.
Basically like a veer and shoot.
Well, they said it was the hybrid wing.
I don't think it matters how you change the college playoff picks. or how you pick them, somebody's going to be unhappy about
What I
I'm
think you
pretty
should
sure the ones
do.
that were unhappy or
But what I think
Alabama
you-
fans that have their panties in a wad.
Here's what I agree with, and they showed it the way it should.
Prove me wrong.
The way they should have done it, Boise State never would have had a first round bye. And I agree with this way. You take the BCS model of computer, because they put in the strength of schedule, they put a lot of formulas in for 1 and 2. And that's how you pick the top 12. Because if you do it that way, you're not going to have a Boise State being number 4. Now you put stuff in, meaning like, okay, you win the conference champions, you're automatically in, but it doesn't mean you're 1, 2, 3, or 4.
Right.
Right? A conference champion of, let's just say, Boise State, should they have gotten a first round bye over Notre Dame? Probably not. Now they played great. They probably should deserve a little bit more. But at the same time, you put in the computer model, you put in, okay, conference champions, the group of 4 automatically get qualified for the top 12. Because clearly, if you're going to have the ACC, the Big 12, the Big 10, and the SEC win the conference, clearly they're going to be one of the top 12 teams. You're never going to have a Big 12 or ACC not be in the playoffs.
Right.
And then you put in the formula of, okay, well, what about Alabama, Ole Miss? Let's rank their losses versus other people's wins, and their wins versus other people's wins. Do I think Alabama deserved to get in? I don't think they would change the outcome. I don't think Alabama would win the national championship, and I don't think Ole Miss would win the national championship. So who do you put in besides those two? You put in, let's say, Indiana, SMU, who probably wouldn't have gotten in. Okay, well, you're subbing 2 teams that wouldn't have probably won the national championship anyway for 2 teams that's not going to win the national championship.
Right.
Because they got eliminated. Who cares?
I think Indiana got in because
We're fussing about the 12 teams
I think
when you still got the best 8 teams in the playoffs right now.
I think my thing is what you hit on is restructure how they see each teams and go from there. And I think my biggest thing, as I commented earlier, is that I think the only people that are kind of like complaining about this is people that are fans of teams.
Old Miss, maybe Miami, maybe.
Are fans of teams that are butthurt that are complaining that their team should have made it because of they would have made the game competitive. Yes, but also is shows like how it is, how it goes.
Okay, let's put this perspective. Miami
last year, I think the first round, like they won. Each team in the first round won by a combined total of like 1 possession or 2.
Well, let's put it this way. Let's put it this way. Miami makes it. They don't have a defense. They don't have a defense. Now, granted, Cam Ward plays a little bit longer if they're in the playoffs, whatever. But they don't have a defense. They still gave up. That defense, you pull your defense, still gave up, 42 points? That's 41-42.
after a team that a couple of weeks ago got shellackled by Arizona.
Now,
State.
granted, you put Cam Ward in, maybe they score a little bit more touchdowns, but that doesn't stop the defense.
Right.
They were up by 7. Or not 7, 6.
They were up by 10 at one point. They were up 38-20 at
Right.
one point.
And they scored before after. But at the point they took Cam Ward out, I think they were up by 6. 3. And then they scored a field goal shortly after. But you're up by 6 at one point with no Cam Ward, right? All you need is defense.
Yeah.
And you let them score a touchdown when you couldn't let them score one touchdown.
And analysts and other people who's been watching in Miami has always made a point is that their defense has been the weakness all year because their defense has always let teams get back into it. And that is why they've always had come from behind.
I don't think their teams always let teams get back into it. I think they do what a lot of freaking NFL teams do, and it upsets me as a fan. They take the foot off the gas. Oh, we're up by 7. We got a great offense. We don't need to play defense no more. We can relax a little bit because our offense will dig us out. And they get that way, and now you don't have a Cam Ward in the second half, and they're used to like, oh, well, Cam Ward will dig us out of it. Newsflash, Cam Ward's not playing the rest of the game.
See,
now they got to learn how to play a full game of football.
Right.
Right.
And I want to bring this up quick. So this is a bowl game that happened, I think, yesterday or today. It was USC versus Texas A&M. So you know how recent Miller Moss transferred out of USC, and they've been having this quarterback struggle since Caleb Williams left. And so his backup played, his name is Jordan Maivia. And my thing is, I watch highlights and I'm like, he did throw 3 picks. But he was able to lead the Trojans on a 17-point comeback.
Yep.
And throw 4 touchdowns. Why didn't they play this guy all season?
Probably didn't know what they had until they played him.
That's what my kind of question was.
That it goes the same with like Penix and stuff. How I played him in NFL, like a guy comes in like, oh, he's better than the starter. There's no game film on him.
Yeah.
Like no one has film on him because no one's spygating anymore.
He was
But
a
no one has
transfer
film.
from UNLV. But I mean, like, he was able to help lead the Trojans from being down almost 20 points to come back and win 35-31.
It's not about how the fact that your guy has 7 receptions for 96 yards. The Cooper Cup has 1 reception for 29. Throw to him more.
No, keep it on cool. I need points. Woo!
If you win, I don't care about my punishment. I'll kick you in the nuts.
That's a punishment in
You
itself.
still get a punishment, damn it.
Dude, the way it's going, we're all going to take a freaking punishment.
No. Oh, from last year, yes.
Yes, from last year.
You're gonna get last year's. I'm gonna get fantasy. He's gonna get the picks.
And so, yeah. So
Unless next week they all break
I
the
like
leg.
how he played and how his boys, he didn't let the 3 picks down get to him. He just like, okay, let's keep trying to get back in this game. And he ended up leading the Trojans to a 17-point comeback, which I thought was pretty amazing.
Who's the A&M quarterback now?
It was a transfer from Duke.
A&M or USC?
A&M.
Okay.
I don't know his name.
Marcel Reed.
Oh,
Probably a field goal.
arm is soft.
Well, they gave him a field goal, huh?
Yeah, well, Navy did a lot better with a lot tougher competition.
People use in a red zone against Colorado.
Good Lord.
Yes, dude.
You know what? The Mormons are closer to God than Prime, okay?
Okay.
So, with that being said, we got the college football playoffs. We got a few more bowl games here. The end of the leg here. I think this is the last week of the bowl games besides the playoffs.
Yep.
Right? So let's just get down to the nitty gritty over here. Let's get down to our picks. Unless there's more bowl games we want to talk about. We're pretty much scattered throughout the whole day.
Touch on Vandy's how he legit put the Commodores on his back and scored 5 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Diego Pavia.
3 through the air and 2 on the ground, like 5
No, I'm
touchdowns.
saying, yeah, like Vandy did good
Yeah.
this season. Iowa State won, right? We talked about that. That's the first 11-win season in program history.
Yes. I thought that was really amazing. And how Campbell's been everyone's like talking about how like good a coach been doing a program. We're getting Matt Campbell in Iowa State. Like, yes, he had his down years, but he's been slowly building.
Yep.
See, we got also UNC played in Boston, and good old Bill Belichick came back.
But he didn't go to Foxborough.
Now you know Foxborough with Boston, but he came back to the area. Nice little hometown hero there. Show his face and go, I'm going to coach UNC to maybe, AC runner-up. Yeah, I mean, I don't think they're going to do big in ACC.
Well, they got his son from Washington once their bowl game's done.
Oh, yeah. No, he's going to go coach with his dad again.
Right.
If
He
he, did,
was the
that'd be-
DC for Washington.
No, if we
Yeah,
could
he
just
just
get
said that.
Oh, I didn't know. Again,
told
hearing.
you.
He's got hearing problems today.
Is Romeo Cornell still alive?
Last time I checked, he was still kicking.
Maybe.
He was what?
Last time I checked, he was still kicking.
I was gonna say get him and Charlie Weiss at North Carolina. Remember that was his first two offensive and defensive coordinators.
Get him and Charlie Weiss. That'd be great.
The Josh McDaniels, your special teams coach. That was gonna be awesome.
Some bowl games coming up here. We got Monday. We got Iowa versus Missouri.
Yes.
We're not picking that game.
77.
So the first game we're picking, Alabama versus Michigan.
Yep.
Should be a great game. I picked Michigan. Who did you pick, Jake?
I think Michigan.
Cool. Who did you pick, Carl?
Michigan.
Yeah. Was there any surprise here that we're all going to go Michigan to support our boy Carl? It's funny because we did the picks earlier.
Hey.
He said Alabama. I was like, son of a gun, I could have picked the winner.
Hey, if I ever picked Alabama, please check me back in the second word.
13.5-point favorites.
We get 2 points.
We all get 2 points if they win.
Michigan?
Yeah. But we all get 2 points for one loss. So, I mean, no one's going to break away with this one.
No.
Another one I was looking at is Louisville, Washington. That's going to come up on Tuesday as well. Louisville's 2.5-point favorite. Another one I was thinking of, and listen to this spread when I say it. South Carolina versus Illinois. South Carolina are 10-point favorites.
It's a little high.
They're both ranked. One's 15 and one's 20.
That's a little high.
That's high.
Illinois-
They must know something about people sitting that we don't.
What game?
South Carolina and Illinois.
That
South Carolina's a
quarterback-
10-point favorite.
That South Carolina quarterback is going to be in the top 5 going into the Heisman watch next year. He's really good. He
Oh, yeah.
That's
The way he can throw and the way he can run.
Mm-hmm.
So here we go with our picks though for the playoffs. So we got,
We got one more, Buffalo Liberty.
but that's not, yeah, we're going to go in order of the games.
Okay.
Bahamas ball.
So Penn State versus Boise State. I picked Penn State.
I've been running them all year. I ain't gonna go against them this time. I'm going with Boise State. I'm gonna have away Ashton and the Boise State Broncos.
How do you pick against Boise State though, right?
I don't know how do you pick against Boise State? You know, the orange and the blue and all that stuff. Not fucking give me Penn State.
Orange and blue. I love how you said that when you're wearing orange and blue too.
The freaking Knicks man over there.
So
They're
Penn State, and then Boise State. And then we have Texas versus Arizona State. Look, this was my team all year for the national championships. It ain't changing now. Hook 'em. And we all picked Texas. Mr. Google's also picked
So Arizona
picked
by 5.
Texas. Arizona. So we all
Arizona
picked,
by 20.
who did you pick for Penn State, Boise State? Mr. Google?
Penn State, Boise State.
Yes, who would you pick?
I'd go Penn State on that.
Penn
one.
State for him. So you're the only one picking Boise State. What about Alabama, Michigan?
Michigan.
Alabama. Oh, you picked Michigan.
Oh, my man.
I thought you were going to pick Alabama because of sub. You picked Michigan for our boy Carl over here.
Well, I just think Michigan's going to surprise them. I feel.
By the way, it's a
Oh.
13.5-point favorite
We're screwed.
for Alabama.
You're not gonna like this. The Blue Nation's not gonna like this next pick.
Ohio State versus Oregon. Go Ducks.
Ducks have been proven. I think Ducks are going to win again. Go Ducks.
Ohio State.
And Mr. Google,
I got to go with Oregon on that one.
Oregon.
I'm
The
only
spread, you ready for the spread? Ohio State, 2.5-point favorites. You know why? Because they don't get the 12 men on the field penalty.
It's a pickup game.
I don't know. I seen some stuff out of that team. They looked, because watching the Michigan game and then watching last week's game, they came out pissed.
Yes.
Ohio State came out pissed.
But I think if they did with their defense again against Will Howard the first go around, I think they got to come.
It's going to be a good game.
Oh yeah,
It's probably going to be the game of the day.
It should be. It should. I mean, it's not just because Big Ten. We've seen this before. You're playing in Pasadena. Weather's not going to be a factor. This is going to be it's going to be a slobber knocker of a match.
Also, it's a Rose Bowl.
And
And it's
also,
always been
I
a
wanna bring
Pac-12
up
and
the
a
point.
Big Ten, and this is an old Pac-12 versus a Big Ten game.
They didn't give.
Big Ten's coming back to the Rose Bowl's coming back to the Big Ten this year.
So Penn State,
Either way.
the first round game, Penn State didn't give enough credit that the away team was going to Penn State, one of the loudest stadiums in Pennsylvania.
There you go. Thank you.
So they're like,
Why can't anybody hear me back here?
oh, wait over here. So they didn't bring up, they didn't say this because I read an article about this. They had, who did Penn State face in the first game? Was it
SMU.
SMU. So they had SMU going to one of the loudest and fan-based stadiums in North America and the U.S. Who do you think is going to happen? They had troubles hearing the play calls.
Yeah.
And Penn State's defense showed up.
Oh yeah.
So the next game, and the line on this one's only 1.5 because Mr. Carson Beck is not there. Georgia's favored by 1.5, but it's Notre Dame versus Georgia. I picked Dogs. Coming down the track, the mean machine in the red and black, I still picked the Dogs. Against my better judgment, because I do think Notre Dame can give them a run, but I don't know with Georgia.
I'm not choosing Notre Dame just because Carson Beck's out and Notre Stockton is playing. I'm also picking Notre Dame because of the fact is they have a new defense and they have a good team around them, and I think they're going to win. It's going to be close, But I think Notre Dame's in it.
Okay. Great defense against Northern Illinois. Go ahead.
They did. They only gave up 13. They scored more than that.
But you let Northern Illinois score 13.
So this to me, I'm not dragging this out. I'm picking Georgia. They were talking about it today while I was watching some of the bowl games. This could literally go either way because of Carspec not being there. Their defensive lineman got hurt in the last game.
But who did Gunnar Stockton beat?
I don't know if it Texas.
Exactly.
Technically, it was Carson Beck. Gunnar Stockton got knocked the heck out.
He handed the ball off. You and I could have handed the ball off in that situation and still scored.
He said he almost dropped the ball because he couldn't.
He couldn't grip it.
He couldn't grip it. He almost dropped the ball.
But what I'm going to say is, in all
Gunnar
four of these
Stockton
games,
also had 71 yards in that game, so he didn't just hand the ball off. But
right. Well, I mean, just the last play of the game. I took Georgia because their defense, they can stop the run.
yeah,
They're gonna make Riley Leonard beat them. It's gonna be a good game.
Mm-hmm.
I think all four of these games will be good. Because I
I
know
think all-
Mr. Gould doesn't want to hear this. Arizona State knows how to run the ball. They're gonna give Texas a run. I think Texas is a
Texas are 12.5 point favorites.
I think
by the way.
Texas edges them out, but it's gonna be a feisty Arizona State team. Boise State, same way with Penn State. We already talked about the previous, the old Pac-12 Big Ten matchup.
See, the thing with Boise State
With
is
Keith
that
Jackson on the call for
they
the
lost
Rose Bowl.
one town this year, and they lost by 3 points, and that was to
Whoa,
number
Nelly.
1 seed in the playoffs, and they're going against Ohio, and they're going against Ohio State and Oregon.
Okay, I want to throw one more ball game out that we didn't talk about.
Hmm.
One more that we should pick to make it even 7 games.
Even 7 games?
Yeah. How about
That is the oddest.
how about the first responder bowl between Texas State and University of Northern Texas?
No,
Woo!
not picking it. Give me the loss. I'm not picking it. I'm not picking it.
By the way, Texas State is favored by 14.5.
That doesn't mean shit.
But they're sponsored. They're favored by 14.5.
The
The records are 6-6 and 7-5. How do you go 14.5? Sounds
We have
good.
to pick. Give me the Texas State Bobcats.
Half the defense of North Texas joined the portal. I don't know.
I'm just laughing because I saw that out there. I was like, I
No.
know we won North Texas over here.
No.
So, first of all, you spoke of portal. How does Army's running back enter the transfer portal?
What?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I heard that yesterday during Navy
I
Oklahoma.
think-
They don't have to worry about, usually don't worry about it, but the Army's running back entered the portal. Now, does he still got that contract when he gets done with college?
I
He has to
think if I
go.
read it correctly, he only can transfer to one of the other two.
He's not going to service, I don't think.
Let me see.
Then they're kicking him out of the army.
Or does he go, hey, you got to do it, but you got to do ROTC, which means you still got to do your summers here. And then when you're done with college, because you only still get 4 years, you still belong to us for 2 more years.
Weird.
Is weird.
I heard that. I was like, huh? He might only have to go to the service, though.
Okay.
Right.
Mr. Google's going to look that up real quick while we continue. Buffalo versus Liberty is our next one, the Bahamas Bowl.
Yeah. You want to do it or me? What we were going to do? Nobody circles.
No one circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bowls. Y'all picked Buffalo.
You took Liberty, didn't you?
Give me the Flames.
Give me the Flames. How do you pick against the red, white, and blue, right?
You're right. Fuck it. No, I picked the Flames because you know what? They're not going to go down in flames. I don't know. I just you guys picked
Dude,
Buffalo.
that was the lamest thing ever.
Hey, first of all, we've lost. The Flames lost one less game than you guys. Okay, so they're good.
Don't be quiet, Thumb Thumb.
It's 83 and 84, so you guys made a conference
At least
championship.
I don't look
The other
like
one
giant
didn't. That's all it was.
Yeah.
You look like
You don't even keep
The
your ass
only
an hour
person that I know come out of the University of Buffalo with Bulls is Cleo Mack.
where did Matt Forte go? Was it?
No.
Hey, did he go to HBCU?
It was a low school. Know that. How about Matt?
No, Cohen went to NCAA. Tariq Cohen. He went to A&T. That's what he went.
Did he transfer out to Troy though?
Matt Ford, College of Tulane.
Tulane, okay.
And then Liberty, Malik Willis. That's one of them.
But who went to Buffalo?
Khalil Mack.
Khalil Mack. That's what it was. It was the Bears. Tariq Cohen went to
Bears.
A&T.
Matt Forte was the Bears. Urlacher was New Mexico, wasn't he?
Do you guys want to pick North Dakota State versus Montana State for the SEC chief?
Why not? Screw it. Let's go with the Bison.
I'm going with Bison.
Screw it. I'm going with the Grizzlies. Give me Montana State.
Okay, too bad you just took the loss because they're not in there. Montana State Bobcats. Montana's the Grizzlies.
I meant Montana State Bobcats.
Give me the Grizzlies. We're on Montana, so you lose.
Oh, okay. There's how it works.
Huh?
All right, so Odo,
The running back?
the running back, is he's a sophomore, and you're not committed to the academy until you attend your first day of your junior year.
Oh, so he does not have to be in the
Nope.
military.
Nope.
But that's why when you do the draft and stuff, you can't draft, and all of a sudden you got to do your 4 years and then draft because your junior year you would be eligible after your junior year, so you can't transfer after
That's
that.
correct.
That's interesting. See, that's something that you never knew with the transfer portal until now.
Yep.
And he transferred to
So-
Arizona State.
So he transferred before
I
he
don't
got
know.
out.
I didn't read that far.
So he transferred
Oh, I
before he got committed. So he probably that sounded horrible.
He's a Sun Devil.
He transferred before he was committed to the military.
Mm-hmm.
So that way he knows, hey, I might have NFL aspirations. Let me chase those dreams instead of the military. Coward. Don't like him.
Bill Cowher?
No, he's a coward. He didn't want to go in the military.
Well, you just say he was he wanted the money more than he wanted the
Exactly.
service.
I don't like that.
Well, that's his
But
call
anyway,
versus yours.
Goal takedown.
But you said North Dakota State,
I don't think he came up
Montana.
with one. Did
North
you?
Dakota State,
No.
Montana.
Montana State. Go Bobcats.
Bison.
And Bison. All right.
Although I will say the Buffalo that was running on the field before the game showed a lot more fight than the actual team did today.
Ooh.
I also said that it looked.
Yeah.
I also said that. I
My
also said.
son, is that a real Buffalo? No, it's fake.
I also said Ralphie looks pretty good as a steak right now.
Hey, man, that'd make a good
Your
burger.
burger.
Yes.
That'd make a good burger.
Yes. So look, he probably tastes pretty good as a cheeseburger right now.
Cold take. Do we have a cold take?
We do.
And
All right. So the cold take is, what is important to you about the holidays?
That's a good one.
I didn't hear it.
What is important to you about the holidays? Gifts, dogs, food. So let's do all the holidays, basically like Thanksgiving and stuff. Family. Time with family, I think, is the greatest. You don't get a lot of time with your family most of the time. You don't get a lot of time with your family until the holidays because you don't get time off of work. You don't get time to go travel. So being there with the family, trying to catch up, trying to just like hang out, talk about what's new, see what's going on. I love the family time. I also love the time around, I think from Thanksgiving until probably right about now, I feel people are nicer.
Yeah.
People get a little bit nicer because, hey, we're getting that time off. Not so much holidays, I gotta be nice, but like you get more time off of work usually, unless you look at a certain company that's family oriented, but you don't get a certain Christmas Eve off.
Ooh.
You know, look, how many of y'all had
Sounded
Christmas Eve
personal.
off for noon? Or got off at noon? Yeah, most of y'all. Everybody.
Do you get New Year's Eve off?
No,
I get up there.
we get 1 day. We get 2 days in freaking 2 weeks.
Oh, BYU is working.
Yeah, we already knew that. Anyway, that time, also the time of like you get to be happier. So you get family time, you got time that people are a little bit more nicer and a little bit more, accepting of others, like more human, like compassion and stuff.
Right.
Like, oh, I'm so sorry of this. I hear that more around the holiday season. Maybe because they drink more around the holiday season because they got to be around their family. Maybe because they get the time off. Whatever it is. Also, I like this time because I walked into church on Christmas Eve and I see more people in church on Christmas. So you get more people. Hey, I'm more religious these days. Whatever it has to be. It's a holy day of obligation for Catholics. But I've been to other holy day of obligations and don't see that many people. It's only Christmas time. And I asked one person I actually work with who I saw at church. And he says, no, I just go around Christmas time. We had a father who goes, Merry Christmas, everyone. And by the way, and at the end of the service, he goes, by the way, I want to be the first to tell you, Happy Easter, because he won't see me again until Easter. And then on Easter, he tells them Merry Christmas at the end of the service because he won't see me again until Christmas. But I like seeing that.
Is that a problem? Or sorry, is that a problem for you, or do you just?
I don't think it's a problem. It's what you believe and do. If you're gonna be a Catholic or you're gonna be religious on Christmas, why not be religious any other day? You know what I'm saying?
Right. Score update. It is
Army 21-3.
Good pick.
Hey, they just gotta get Travis Hunter's gotta get one more touchdown in this one that matters. I should have done that Travis Hunter one, but I'm like, it's free money. Why not?
I figured they would have at least scored more than
I thought
did.
Travis Hunter would score 2 touchdowns.
At some point, right?
Hey, punt return.
Bucks lost to the Bills 116 to 111.
That's okay.
Not throwing your hat. You did earlier.
Yeah,
I mean, you get the time with the family, you get people more compassionate, and then you see more people in church, and hopefully more people are starting to go around that time.
Right.
One thing I can tell you I hate is January 1st. Well, the rec center is closed January 2nd because they're going to be full of people who made New Year's resolution, and about 2 weeks later, it's going to be the best time ever because all those people stop going to the gym.
Right.
So at least my gym are going to be busy for a little bit, but then it'll be dead.
My thing is, when I was growing up, it was always spending time with family you haven't seen in a while. And now, since things happen, just spending time with people that you choose to be your family.
Okay. It's a good one. I like that one.
Breathing. Really farted. No, I'm more with him because we haven't been shy about what our struggles have been since this past summer, mental health and everything. So we really took some time to really appreciate family time this year, holidays and everything. And one of the things that I noticed on Christmas, and it kind of hit me, was I was taking gifts up, and I told the wife, I told her, I sound like, this is ours. I talked to you. Immediately when somebody says they even talk to you, you get fucking, pardon me, you get, well, what the heck? I told her, I was like, at least something I knew was I'm cared for. I didn't realize that. Maybe I knew it, but it didn't hit me, and it did hit me on Christmas. So I'm very thankful for you guys and everybody, and of course the family and the kids and everything. So family time is really important to me. I don't care what we eat. I am not picky because we could literally eat a pile of shit. I'll be like, put some salt, pepper, and call it good.
Ranch dressing.
But like just time with people. Like there was a football game on. Nobody was watching it. We were kind of paying attention to it, but we were paying attention
On Christmas?
to it. Yeah.
And the only time I paid attention to the football game on Christmas was when I went to the bar later after everything.
Right.
And I looked up and I'm like, oh, wow. 2 points. Congratulations.
I don't want a participation trophy.
And even then, I was just looking every once in a while to see if, did someone poke C.J. Stroud with the sticks to see if he was alive yet?
Do something.
Do something.
My thing was I seen a meme on Facebook and I said 31-2 is a more embarrassing score than 31-0.
Yeah, because it's like you did something, but not enough. Your offense did nothing.
Right.
Your defense did something.
But and I'm not going to throw shade at the Saints because we dominated them on Monday night. It was 34-0. But that 31-2,
first shutout of the season.
But that is a worse score than that. Not only did you give up more, but your defense only scored 2.
Your defense scored something your offense couldn't.
Yes. And you didn't even get a pick 6. You tackled somebody behind the goal line.
Which, by the way, I think he was really tackled at the 1. He got forced back. But, that's because Derrick Henry's my running back, and he lost maybe 0.2 points at that point.
He gained it back on the next
They were already down on that game.
Dude, every time he touched the ball, it was like the first down.
I also seen something that one of the basketball games, how NBA, it used to be NBC, you have 2 games. It was either the Lakers or the Bulls. They were playing, now it's like 5, and I just don't watch it anymore. But I missed out on a great game. Knicks and Spurs, and it came down to 3 points.
I saw that. I didn't see the game, but I saw the...
Yeah. And it was a close
highlights.
game, a highlight. And even Chris Paul said, we can't make excuses for being young. We need to win close games. We can't use youth as an excuse of why we lose close games. And I'm like, That's is why you brought Chris Paul into this game, into this franchise.
A leader, a
Later, like I don't care if you're 19, 20, you need to go out there and play. You're getting paid to play. You need to go out there and put points on the board.
Look, we want to talk about young. Packers are the youngest team in the NFL. You think they use that as an excuse to why they're not great? Last year, Packers aren't going to do nothing. They got rookie receivers or second-year receivers. That's it. You think they made excuses? No. They went out and went to the playoffs and won a playoff game.
Don't be like our boy over there in Alabama. Oh, it's okay. You'll try better next time. Or you
Taylor
got somebody, or you got somebody like Nick Saban and Matt LaFleur. I'm only drawing comparisons because of their coaching style, not because of what they've done. You got to do better. You're better, good. Your best isn't good enough. You got to do better.
Let's talk about what we're also thankful for. I am thankful for sports on the holidays.
Yes.
But no, that's what we're thankful for.
The Beyonce halftime show.
I didn't watch it.
I didn't watch it.
Yeah.
Although I asked my daughter about it. I said, "Did they sing the song Texas Hold'em?" She goes, "Yeah." I said, "Then they lied." She said, "This ain't Texas." Yes, it is. You're in Texas. Can't sing that song. Lewis says, "This ain't Texas. It's Hold'em or whatever." You're in Texas. It was in Houston.
Yeah, I heard it was bad.
Mr. Google, what's your favorite part of the holidays? Can't be the snow.
No. Well, I mean, there wasn't any, so.
Exactly. I haven't seen a white Christmas since I lived in New York.
Yeah, my favorite thing about the holidays is family and getting together and bonding together. That's what I like most about the holidays.
Yeah.
Good food.
And everything. And like another thing too is if you're seeing people that like family get together.
No one cares about their weight and diets on the holidays.
You're gonna be like, oh, how's so and so doing, or how's this going? Hey, I seen this with this new age of Facebook and everything. Okay, yeah, we see what they're doing, but now we got something to talk about when you guys come over, or vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, right, the big thing is Christmas is about family, and then New Year's is about friends, right? So
to me, New Year's,
you get to do both of them.
New Year's and I'm gonna hit something personal probably this year that no one, you guys know, but I struggled with this year. But let's talk about New Year's. It's a new beginning to me. We all know what happened about a year ago now.
Yeah.
My life changed a year ago from now. This is my first holiday season since
The split.
the change.
Yeah.
I struggled with that probably the beginning of the year or month, not year. And now looking back, I'm like, it's the best decision that's happened. I've grown better as a person. But that's what the new year is for me. It's like you look forward to a new beginning every year. Every year is a new beginning. How are you going to change yourself this year, right? The whole year, like when you say New Year's resolutions, yeah, people give up on it. My New Year's resolution last year, I never gave up on it. It's like, I'm going to be better than I was now by this time next year. It's not, okay, let me lose weight. Okay, cool, I lost 20 pounds. I feel better. No, it's, hey, I'm going to get into shape. I've gotten into shape. I go to the gym. I continue, but shape isn't just physical. Mental. Let me help myself mentally. Let me help myself financially. I'm going to get myself into the best form I can. Now, obviously, some of that stuff hasn't happened, but I'm better now than I was a year ago. To me, that is definitely what it means for the New Year's. You look forward to celebrating the year that you just had. Now let's focus on a better year next year. You got to always make the next year better, or try to make the next year better. Now, granted, we all have hiccups, but at the end of the year, you can look back and go, yes, I had a lot of bumps in the road, but I'm better than what I was the year before. Then you have won that year. If not, you didn't lose. To me, you never lose. Right. If you're alive and breathing, you did not lose. You look at it and go, okay, that wasn't the way I planned, but I'll get it next time.
Next year on this holidays, I'll be about a little bit over a year sober.
Yeah, because you're 168 days. 168 days sober. Now, at the beginning of the year, did you think, what was your New Year's resolution at the beginning of this year?
I think I didn't really have one. Try not to eat as much.
Do you think you're better now than you were at the beginning of the year? 168 days sober. You know how long that is? You know how many months that is?
6 months.
Just about 6 months. 6 months would be 80 days, 180 days. You're 12 days away. You. What did you just recently say to us yesterday? What are you doing?
I gave up pop, caffeine. Not caffeine, but not
Sugar.
Pop. Yeah, sugar.
Like a lot of sugar, like I did back in Easter. You've talked to me about like, hey, how did you do this? How did you do this? And I told you I gave up. I gave up for a little while, but I gave up sugar. I gave up the sweets, the ice cream, this. Every once in a while I can indulge, but that's because I go to the gym all the time and I discipline myself enough to know I'm not gonna fall back in the hole of just eating like Snicker bars and Kit Kats and birthday cakes all the time.
Right.
And you're gonna feel better in a couple of days, right? And do you think the end of this year you're better than where you were at the beginning or around the same?
Yeah, because I was going to bring that up because, I look at it and up until just a couple of months ago, I kept feeling sorry for why I was here and having the car accident in May. And I turned it into a positive, like, okay, well, when you just were talking, kind of got my gears turning, like, yeah, I'm better mentally, maybe not so much physically. That's what the next phase of this year will be. I'm ready to take that step because I wanted to get myself under control mentally before I could improve myself physically. Because I felt like that would be a better mindset for me. I didn't want to take on too much at once and regress or make myself more depressed or anxious or whatever. So, yeah, I think now that I'm looking back on it, the car accident was maybe a blessing in disguise. My time wasn't ready at that particular point. I have a chance I'm here for a purpose. I have a chance to do something in my family on my mom's side that hasn't never been done, and that is break the generational curse of not leaving your kids. And it stops here. It ends with me. So yeah, I feel a million times better, and I'm only going to continue to work towards being better physically now each day, taking it one day at a time. Is what my tattoo says.
There you go. And one last question I want to ask Mr. Gould. Like, do you feel like you've had a better year this year than last year? Or about the same?
It's a tough one just because of
A lot of new stuff.
a lot of recent, yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, okay, yeah, very recent.
Right.
Yeah.
So, it's tough to say. Is this year better? I think probably, yeah.
I mean, you bought a home this year.
Bought a home. We're near the grandkids.
Mrs. Google beat cancer.
Yep, Mrs. Google beat cancer.
I mean, it didn't start off great,
No,
but
No.
she beat cancer,
Yeah.
so that's
well,
always a win.
she's still working on beating it, but yeah.
No, we're keeping positive.
I know, but I mean, it's always going to be a battle going forward. Once she rings that bell, she'll beat cancer. We'll beat in cancer officially. Yeah, I got a pretty good job here, so that's a good place to be. We're moving forward more than we're moving back. So, yeah, I think
And it
it
started
is.
off rough, but like
Good.
you're ending it on a good note.
Yep.
Now, I know this episode's going long, but at the same time, we are going to be off next week, January 3rd. I'm going to be out of town. Carl's going to be out of town. In fact, it's hilarious. I'm going to Chicago. He's going to Green Bay to watch the game. I'm going to Chicago for something else. And Chicago and Green Bay plays each other.
Yeah.
So that's actually pretty hilarious. You're going north and I'm going south. Well,
And in February, you got a side trip to Alaska that I'm going to as well.
yes. I've already been asked, and I said yes to that. For other stuff. But yeah, you're going to Alaska. I spoke to your wife about, and I don't know if she asked me the question, but if you get time to do anything in Alaska and Anchorage, there's a couple breweries and stuff. I can point you to a brewery at least, so you can do something quick. And I can be able to do a lot of stuff I did on my honeymoon, obviously, because I was there for a week and a half. You're not gonna have that much time.
No.
But I can, give you some stuff in Anchorage that I did, what they call Lost Anchorage, like Los Angeles, because it's not really part of Alaska.
Right.
No one in Alaska besides Anchorage considers it Alaska, but it's a great place. You're gonna love it. February, at least you're not gonna get the 100% darkness for 3 months. Not 3 months, but it's close. And then the following week after the 3rd, you're actually not gonna be on it as well. So you're gonna be gone for 2 weeks straight. So we'll reconvene on the 10th, but you won't be here on the 10th because wife has a holiday party.
Yeah, there's gonna be 3 more episodes that I miss, but that's gonna be
3 in a row?
No, just these 2, and then the one in February, and that's actually the podcast for the Super Bowl.
So we won't be. Well, The day before the Super Bowl?
But I get back the day of the Super Bowl.
Oh shoot. Well then.
I'm just saying, this is what I'm picking, and then just not so fast. And there's a
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Mhm.
But before we leave today, I wanted to see, do you guys have New Year's resolutions?
penis enlarger.
Because one of mine I actually made a
What?
couple weeks ago,
Yeah.
and it's kind of working okay. It's kind of not. Is you guys mentioned it before, my anger. Like, yeah, you saw me throw the hat in disappointment, but I wasn't like the anger you saw. That was just more like, dang, I lost money. Like, how could you do that? But it wasn't the anger that you've seen before. I mean, I'm trying not to get that angry before anymore because of situations that has happened a week ago. Mr. Google knows what I'm talking about for a week ago. I don't know if you guys really know.
No.
You might know because I think you've heard from the wife
Yeah.
and stuff what happened.
Yeah.
But you don't really know. I think I kind of told you what happened, but I'll tell you off air. But yeah, so anger issues is one thing I'm working on. I know I've gotten better than what I had been before, but again, that's continued the growth. That's why I brought in the whole, or do you think this year's better? Do you think that last year's better?
Right.
My next step is anger. I've worked on the physical part. I worked on this. I worked on that. Now let's work on the anger and get me back to where I need to be. But other than that, good podcast, everybody.
It's a banger of a show.
Slobber knockers.
She's a banger. We'll do some promos throughout the week, especially after New Year's and stuff like that. We'll talk about our New Year's plans and what we're gonna do off the air. Maybe do like quick lives here or there, whatever on our phones. Kind of just bring in the new year. But other than that, I got nothing for us.
No, not anything.
Do you have anything? You might be looking.
Carlito.
But
Do you have anything?
no, I'm good.
All right. Well, if there's nothing else, you stay classy, you two. And we will see you next week. Same time, same place. Like and subscribe, please. And follow us on Facebook, 3 Morons
I thought
Pod.
we were going to be on next week.
I said we'll be on next week. Same time, same place next week. Oh, no.
Won't
Yeah,
be
you're
on
right.
next
We're next week. Holy cow. 2 weeks. Hey, look, I've been off for a week, okay? So I used to say next week. I'm not used to being a week off, a week on, and a week off. So enjoy the New Year's with everybody. And again, like and subscribe. Follow us on Facebook, 3 Morons Pod, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Bye. Adios.
Sayonara.
Jalen Brunson
Adios,
scored.
adios.